Close enough. Pretty good. The countdown worked. It's amazing. All right. We'll see what happens with the internet. Could be a squiffy thing. We don't know what's going on. No note. 97 moons. Spock. Oh, come on, bro. Yeah? There you go.
I'm getting closer to 100. 97 is just 3 away. Talk about a disturbing amount of moons.
That is a lot of moons. That's a lot of... Wow! Jeez.
79 moons.
Hands at your side. That was awkward. Oh, man. Farrelyn, thank you. 79 moons. How's it going? I am absolutely exhausted. Absolutely. We spent the majority of the night trying to figure out what the Wi-Fi issue was. Theories. Bizarre things. So we did a bunch of research trying to figure out, what could be causing Wi-Fi interference, because that's the general consensus. Well, there's something happening. The supervisor. We got a hold of a supervisor. And, hey, not for nothing, they helped us out last time. And they're like, look, I'm looking at everything here. It's coming from inside the house, that kind of thing. So it's like, it's kind of your fault. So for those who don't know, we went through the trouble of getting new router, new modem, new wires just in case one of them got crinked up in a door, got messed up, something like that, got a bad feedback loop, got new equipment. Okay. We did all of it. And we're like, all right, whatever. Boom. Still had a problem. Go.
Hope everyone is having an amazing day. I have to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, but be home first thing Friday morning. Dude, where's my car?
I don't know where your car is. Where'd you leave it? The last place you were. I don't know. So we go through all this trouble, replace all this equipment, right? Still an issue. So then we do some research. Dehumidifier, right? Apparently, this is the bane of my existence, and my rage is the only thing keeping me awake right now. Okay, let's get some swearing going on here. No, because this pissed me off. Yeah, you know how everything is energy efficient now, right? Yeah, it's super cool, right? And oh wow, we're saving all this energy, because the data center needs it. We used to have an old dehumidifier. This thing was a tank, a beast, wasn't energy efficient at all. If anything, I feel like it sucked up the atmosphere around it, quite literally, for electricity. This was like metal coils and tubes, and it was bizarre, whatever. However, I've learned something. Energy efficient dehumidifiers, they have a compressor in there. And apparently the older ones, when the compressor kicked in, it was what they call a slow profile for power consumption. New ones, energy efficient ones, they hit the circuitry like a fucking hammer. They're like, oh, you know what? I need all your power. Give me your power. Boom. It is like punching the wall socket, essentially. And when it turns on and when it turns off. Now, the lights won't dim or anything like that, but that slight bit of fluctuation can cause the modem to desync, as they say, right? So we're like, motherfucker, that's it. And I'm like, that's got to be the only thing. It's the only thing that's changed. So guess what? We unplugged everything and stuff, and Dawn was streaming, and we're like, all right, cool. She got through a whole stream. Nothing happened. The stream didn't go down or nothing. No hiccups, no blips, no nothing. Go.
I left it on your coffin. How did you get out? If you want a cheaper dehumidifier, get a steel bucket and a plastic bucket and suspend the bucket over the other. Just put water in the steel bucket and freeze it overnight. You should have a bucket sickle and a chipper all day. You'll just...
Go.
Oh. I was expecting those light flickers. The vacuum does that.
Yeah, no lights flicker. Thank you. But guess what? Later that night, come on, camera. Focus on my face. All right. Just before I was like, you know what? I'm sitting there watching Shrug Buds for a bit. They're Twitch streamers. Doing things, eating snacks. We made some cookies. They're weird cookies, but they're probably the only thing keeping me awake right now because they were made with coffee. Now, all of a sudden, stream drops, and we're like, what the hell? Why is this happening? I literally wrote down the times. Where's my timesheet here? Oh, no, I think I put it on the side. Yo, this internet dropped out at like 11:30, 11:40, like 12 o'clock, 12:20. And guess what? The dehumidifier was not plugged in. Hype train! I was so angry I forgot we were on one. Yeah. Hydrate, damn it. Thank you. I didn't realize I'm very tired. Thank you. So yeah, still an issue. And I'm like, all right. I'm pulling out all the stops here. What we did. Uninterrupted power supply. Another thing we had to buy. So bought another thing. Uninterrupted power supply. You don't use that for a modem. Power goes out. Who cares? Whatever. All the computers ain't working. Whatever. So we did that. We got it hooked up there. Fingers crossed that resolves the issue. If the stream goes down around 6:37, maybe 7:10, because of the usual whatever that's happens, then we know it was going to be outside somewhere, or very well could be that the old power surge protector we had, which wasn't really old, was just on its way out and it couldn't handle something. Right? So this is all I can do at this point. This is all I can do. Like after this, if crap still goes sideways and we keep losing internet connection, I am literally going to take an Uber to the ISP's office and I'm going to be like, my dudes, I just spent like $450 on new equipment because you said it's my fault. All right. One, I want a refund and I don't know, some kind of restitution for all the garbage we've had to put up with. Good. Have you talked about calling an electrician yet? No, the wiring is fine. Like, that's the thing. We don't have any issues, Like, we don't have lights dim. We don't have any weird stuff, unless there's an actual electrical storm, like lightning and stuff. So, I mean, everything runs well. So, go.
Hello, Steve. How are you today?
Yeah, Icarus, hi. We're still trying to figure out the internet issue. Apparently, it wasn't the dehumidifier. The only other thing we can think of is we do have the fridge that is dying. It's on its way out. So it might be causing some kind of feedback loop, and we're not going to know if that's the issue until we get rid of it, which won't be until next week. So that's the only other variable involved, unless it's the mini fridge that we were surviving out of with little bits of hummus. God, this is like being in college all over again. Yeah, we literally have a can of whipped cream, hummus, an apple, and like coffee. Like, this is getting stupid. Though we did make banana bread, so that was all right. How long before you could stock up on ice cream? It depends on when the fridge gets here. It's supposed to be here next week. Fingers crossed. I'm very skeptical. I am skeptical about anybody being able to do anything, but it's en route. That's what they say. They gave me a tracking number, which is just as good as any tracking number. It doesn't matter if, like, what's going to happen? This truck is going to, overturn on a highway, and my fridge is going to end up in a ravine. And I'm going to be sitting there with my container of whipped cream and cold brew just sulking. Yeah. So, uninterrupted power supply. Everything seems to be good, so far. We'll see. Renfield 4K. What is going to one Nicolas Cage an actual vampire? Yeah. Nice. He ordered it. It didn't show up yet? Why is it taking so long, bro? That's why I buy local appliances. Well, we went through this too, where I need a particular size because, I don't know, whoever lived here before had a built-in area and I could do one or two things. Hire a carpenter to tear down half a wall or find a fridge that accommodates that little area. So, you know, I'm already in for a fridge. I'm not adding a carpenter on top of that, you know? And we had to figure out, and we had to rearrange a bunch of crap just to have a backup plan, just in case this fridge doesn't fit. I did all the measurements and everything properly, but, you know, website descriptions are always iffy. So we had to move this whole other thing. We had to do all this, blah, 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 you know, that kind of stuff. It'll be arrived in 2 days. No. Dude, I got to wait at least another week. You know, 7 days out of the mini fridge, and I'm breaking out not like hives and stuff too. I've been so stressed about this crap. Plus, we got other things going on. Plus, we're trying to keep up with all the work that we're normally keeping up with. Dawn's got physical therapy. Plus, there's other issues happening. Then there's the other thing, and we got like 12 things on our plate, and I don't like any of them. I'm a picky eater when it comes to adulting. Yes, I don't want to do any of it, and I just want to go straight to the dessert, which is me getting back to my work. Okay. Good. So how's everybody else?
Knowing my luck, if I was ordering a new fridge, if we get my local warehouse truck going to Canada end up in Alaska, then somehow I'll make it to Japan and I'll be on the fridge for a month and a half waiting for them to fix the syrup. And I'm also curious. I'm pretty sure you've gotten at least into your second.
Nope. Still on vanilla. We don't use a lot. I use like a couple of drops. I can't drink the stuff, even though it is sugar-free. No, I just put a little bit of flavor. And it also depends on the coffee. If I make a particularly bad batch of coffee, then I got to doctor it up. But we've been doing pretty good. Speaking of which, let's try that shit because I am absolutely famished with caffeine. I'm literally on like, we made these peanut butter chocolate chip cookies using the dehydrated peanut butter. We've told this before. Dehydrated peanut butter, instead of using water to hydrate the peanut butter, we use coffee, right? Some chocolate chips and date syrup. That's it. That's it. You don't need no eggs. You don't need extra sugar. You don't need none of that, okay? Very low fat, very little sugars, whatever's in the syrup. Plus, they're coffees that are fucking filling and they'll keep you awake. No, they were so strong when I took them out of the oven, they were terrible. Yeah.
I'm sorry, the internet fridge is in metric. And you measured in standard, so the fridge is wildly out of place, but here the fridge.
What? Dude, I'm telling you, the fridges are, God. And I've said this before, why are fridges so expensive? Dude, there was one there for like $2,500, and I'm like, what is it? Is this running on RAM? Like, what is inside this? Like, it makes ice. I'm like, I can make ice. Like, that's what bothers me is the cost of a fridge is astronomical. I'm looking at this stuff, and it's like, if I didn't have to get the router and everything else, I probably just would have settled for a bigger fridge and maybe put it somewhere else and, I don't know, set up a shelf where the old fridge was, you know, and I have a little alcove of, I don't know, coffee beans or something. What the fuck? Do you know fridge isn't short for refrigerator? Yeah, it's Frigidaire. We had a grandparent that always referred to every refrigerator as a Frigidaire. So, and then everyone just said fridge. Yeah, kind of weird. He's like, yeah, I got soda in the Frigidaire. I'm like, the refrigerator? He's like, it's a Frigidaire. I'm like, no, it's a GE. It's a Frigidaire. Sure. Okay. God. Everything was like, there was this one thing that they just like, that was it. All right, let's see what this coffee does to my face. Boop. Ah! Hope it doesn't do that. Jesus. Ooh, look at that. It looks suave in that. Nice. Okay. Yeah, can you make my character, like, model look like that? Because holy crap, it'd probably get a lot more viewers. Jeez. God. All right, where are we at here? Boop. All right, there we go. Kind of like what people, what, Xerox. Yeah. People, that's a good example. Yeah, use the Xerox. Yeah. I don't think anybody says, yo, let's go to Kinko's to make copies, because I don't think that's a thing anymore. Kinko's is gone now, right? Staples bought them, so they got their own little copy center or whatever. I don't know. I can't deal with Staples. The last time I went to Staples, I was frustrated by the idiocy of it all. I don't know. I'm like, it's an office supply store. Out of everything that can close down on the fucking planet, this motherfucking entity is still alive selling paper clips. I'm like, how is this possible? That and the $50 ink cartridges that people still need for some reason. Yo, the last printer we got's got the refillable ink. Boom, love it. It's now a FedEx office. Oh, that explains a lot too. I gotta say, dude, out of all my experiences with every shipping thing, I've had better luck with DHL than I have FedEx. For some reason, FedEx is like, oh yeah, we dropped off your package. And I'm like, where? Across town. No, that's not right. Go get that. I'm like, what the hell, dude? FedEx bought Kinko's. The services are still available at FedEx office location. I want to go there just to be nostalgic. Because that was the whole thing. Yo, when you had to do a lot of copies and make portfolios, the only color printer at the time was Kinko's. They were affordable. They had these little cards you would put money on. You know, and you'd go in there to every copier, you'd put your Kinko card in there that had money on it. I think you still have one of those, the old school ones. Ah, dude, it's awesome. Dropped it off, didn't want to ring the doorbell. Yeah. There's weird things. We had what do you call it? Other people get stuff, whatever. I don't care. Delivery services are just awful. Yeah, UPS is they're pretty consistent most of the time. Shut off, hi. What's up? FedEx literally sent me a proof of delivery of a bush. A bush. Walmart was some foggy image. Isn't that weird? I've gotten some weird images where I'm just like, what is that, a tree? Did you give it to the squirrels? Like, what the hell? Yeah. And it's funny because stuff that goes to the P.O. box, it's like they'll show like a picture of the hand of the person that took it, which is usually a postal worker, which we kind of know everybody there for the most part. So I'm like, hey, that's blah, blah, blah. You know, could tell by the fancy ring or, you know, oh, the one with the tattoo on their hand, you know, that kind of thing. I'm like, what the? I don't know. So, yeah, I had to play a Columbo with EMP interference with the Wi-Fi and whatever. So, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that at least the uninterrupted power supply keeps things steady enough, but if it doesn't, then there are still mitigating circumstances. Yeah, I don't know. We got a porch. Set a box on a bench. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Event call 42 to 38. Thank you, shut out for calling things because I can't even look at numbers because my face is deteriorating with tiredness. So expect the dyslexia to happen at any moment. But you know what? Maybe I should join the game. That would probably help somebody, right? Oh, my card sucks. Fuck. Let's freaking go. We do those. I forgot about that. Yeah. Literally just waltzing up. All right, maybe this card will wake me up. All right. Who did that? Timmy! What's up? Timmy! All right, Timmy, you got a roll equal to or greater than 10. 14. Oh, from the get-go. What number you want? What am I going to do? Hang around on that screen? Looks like I already rolled. I like the Steiner. It's cozy. Random. Wow. Random. Calling random. All right, I'll do it. Boom. Sub happens. Shouldn't that already been called? Really? Sub happens? I got subs. I'll call in another random. Random singing. Okay, there you go. I didn't do that? I feel like I did do that. Maybe I didn't. I could be too tired to sing. I think Shadav would have caught it. Well, we got a winner? Is there a winner? Where? Nobody won yet. Whatever. Oh, yeah, damn, Timmy. Okay. Yeah, sorry again. I'm tired. I'm not going to be connecting any dots today, so it's just going to be a bunch of unfinished pictures in a coloring book. Should I miss something? What world is this? No, that actually should have been automatic. Like, I don't know why that didn't just pop off automatically. Yeah. So I don't know. I wonder if the fridge, it's still bothering me. Hey, anybody on the spectrum, you know, when you get obsessed about something? Yeah. The Wi-Fi cutting out is our new obsession. And I'm trying to pinpoint. It bothers me so much. It bothers me so much that I don't know where this is coming from. because, hey, one, I'm not an electrician. I'm not an expert in EMPs, as much research as I can do, unplug things and stuff like that and see what might be causing what. The only other thing I could do now is unplug the fridge, but at least that's still kind of making ice. I got very cold, almost cubes of liquid to put in my coffee. So I can't unplug that quite yet because we have stuff that's usable. It bothers me because here's the thing. I noticed this fridge was dying. Ideal temperature for the interior compartment of a fridge is around 37 degrees. I noticed it when it was at like 39 degrees. And I'm like, this does not feel as cold. But, it was a hot day. I'm like, all right, maybe it's kind of struggling, trying to keep up. Then it was like a couple of days later. I'm like, no, there's something off here. I put a thermometer in there and I let it sit. It was like 40 degrees. I'm like, oh, that's not good. Only 3 degrees can literally give you food poisoning. So then it's just like, all right, yeah. So I got the repair person. They checked. They said, hey, it's dying. You might as well get a new one. Stay ahead of this before it completely dies. Next time we put in a thermometer, 43 degrees. It's getting weaker. It's getting weaker, Chet. Naked one. Nice. There we go. Got a wheel spin happening. All right. You can call wheel spin because that's going to be a thing. All right. Let's see if I can function well enough to spin a wheel. Oh, God. How do I do this again? I'm sorry. Dude, I got such little sleep. I am mentally exhausted, absolutely drained. I don't even know why I'm here, but I feel obligated to be. Because, damn it, it's my job. All right. Let me just set this up real quick. Boop, boop, boop. Let's find out. We did add some new things. So we got the, Songs by Squirrels Volume 2 and the Reboot Series Volume 3. 4 and 5 shall be released at some point. When? I don't know. We'll see. Probably sooner than later because we have to recoup expenses from the fridge, the modem, the router, and the uninterrupted power supply. Fucking expensive. All right, wheel spin. All right, let's go.
What's the deal?
What's the deal?
Let's spin the wheel.
Let's do it.
Cause you want bingo. Let's go. Spin that freaking wheel.
Boom.
Spin that freaking wheel.
All right, spinning the wheel. Of course, you've been here long enough. It's something from HIO Shop, digital goodie, music, movie, comic. All content recommended for mature viewers. So what's your content that's recommended for mature viewers? Just want to slow down here? What's it? Ooh, Junk Code album. Hey, that's new too. Hey, that was the other thing. It's a whole album of kind of music. It's like, what? Your later albums are better. I know they're not out yet, but still, the later ones are good. Okay, get out of here. Boop. All right, cool. Let me get the code. If it's something that you already have that we might have gotten through Patreon, then feel free to pass it along to somebody who may not have it. Come on. Where's it? Where you at? Where you at, silly code? Here it is. All right, download keys, create download. Oh, first one to win it. Oh, my God. First one. There you go. Whispered it. Boom. It's yours. What do you mean too spicy? What's too spicy? Who's spicy? I got to close tabs. It might affect my Wi-Fi. Also, let's check Twitch Inspector. Look at that. Dude, the last 2 streams we had were spotless. That's what I don't understand. Sunday stream was pretty much fine. So that's the weird thing, right? Okay, here's the other thing. Chat, you want to play detective? What's up? Hey, 40 Moons, thank you, Jen Havoc. I appreciate. Blast from the past. Oh. See? No, we're still around. New Foamy cartoon Friday. Well, it's about dating apps and how much they're stupid. There you go. Boo, boo, boo. And then there's a cartoon 2 weeks after that, and then a cartoon 2 weeks after that, and probably till 2 weeks after that until we're dead. Banana Cat, I'm too tired to chase you right now. I literally am. You're lucky. Lucky. What's up? Screw in? What's that? Allow. I'll allow screw in. Upgrade my SSD from 2 terabyte to 8 terabyte. Aren't those things like $3,000 now or something? God, please say you got it at a thrift store. Like somebody mismarked it or something. $4.99. God. Dude, 8 terabyte? Oh my God, I'd be swimming in that. Ugh. What's up? Icarus 1. Nice. There you go. Make it difficult to screw in the screws that hold up my GPU, and Elgato had more move to get my motherboard. I have to kick my cats out so I wouldn't swear at them as I worked. I was up to 1 a.m. Started at 7 p.m. Oh my God. Dude, that's annoying. There are certain things like when we've had to replace stuff, I hate having to tear down like a large portion of tech. Thank you. Just to put in one component that should be easy. It's like, just pop it in there. Boop, boop, boop. All right, screw it back in. Like, no, but this thing is over there and the card's too big. Got to take that out. Blah, blah, blah. Now this isn't the way. And then you got to put a bracket. And then, okay, got blah, blah, blah. It's ridiculous. Micro Center had for really? Oh my God, dude! I just saw a SanDisk one for like literally $1,700. Dude, 12. Still, that's a lot of money for me. That's basically my fridge. Oh my God, why does RAM cost as much as a fridge? Data centers, ease up, will you? Thank you, Jelly Ghost. Let's see. I want to buy an old school arcade cabinet mounted with a cheap PC. Like an RTX 580, build an arcade machine because that would be sick. I don't know if they showed how they did it, but what's his name? Chade does a lot of retro stuff. They build a cabinet. I don't know if they showed it, but it looks spectacular. They got all their games in there and stuff, and it's I don't know how big their rig is, but we are all going to be retro gamers. I'm telling you, man. Everyone's going to be playing Pong for the next 10 years. So thanks for the follow. Use my Micro Center card and also be able to sell my old RAM. I also replaced. Oh, nice. I didn't even know. Yo, they buy RAM. No, we got like 1 or 2 sticks. I mean, it's like, I think 8 gigs total. I don't know. But at this point, that's like gold. People are like, oh my God, 8 gigs? But I feel like I should hold on to it because it might accrue in value, you know? People are like, yo, he's got 8 gigs. Yeah, but it's laptop RAM. I don't care. Yeah. Found an RTX 5070 at Walmart clearance section. What? It is weird. I will say Walmart and Target, sometimes there's like, I don't know if it's a disgruntled employee or somebody messes up, but I have found some astounding things in their clearance section. Like brand new games that kind of just came out for like $7.99. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with RAM right now. And no analyst is like, yeah, it'll go down in a couple of months. And supposedly the Steam machine is going to release soon, and I'm not looking forward to that because 1, I'm not going to be able to afford it at this point. 2, those things are going to get scalped the hell up. This is like the new Pokemon cards. You know, that thing is going to be gone in seconds. I'm going to be like, my dudes, you know. But, you know, I got a laptop. I can run games on it, and I got a backlog like you wouldn't believe. RTX 3060 12 gig my OSC Vision is a pretty good card for 12 gigs. Yeah, I think ours is, got 8 gigs VRAM, whatever. So we can kind of do some comfy UI AI stuff on there, so that's kind of pretty good. The AI boom, they're literally stealing all the chips, GPUs, SSDs, and RAM, yeah. Dude, even the standard hard drives, the little spinny motherfuckers, yeah, you thought that shit was dead? No, they went up too. No, I was looking at another one and it went up like $50, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I just need this to store my old crap, bro. They're like, well, you know, this is in high demand right now. No, they're not. No, they're not. You're just fucking making this up now. $60 for a 3 terabyte for HG. I know, right? It's ridiculous. No, we were looking at a 5 terabyte one. It's like a Western Digital or some BS, and it was like, what they want, like 180? Prime days are coming up, so I might just do something like that. The thing is so cheap around me. $50 for 5. What? What do you mean $50? Oh my God, dude, you can make a killing. Buy all that crap up and resell them on eBay. What are you doing? Really? Dude, you got a whole industry at your fingertips. Oh my God. Western Digital, separated the SSDs and HDD business because they knew hard drives are going to be in demand again? Okay. I know, I don't have the cash. Damn it. Take out a loan. I don't think any bank would deny you a loan. You just go in there and be like, look, I just need a little bit of cash, okay? A little bit of cash. I got a plan. And they'd be like, what's your plan? $50 hard drives. They'd be like, what? $50 hard drives. I'm going to buy a bunch of $50 hard drives. I'm going to resell them. You're going to get your money back in a week with interest. They'd be like, no, get out of here. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. They'll be calling people over. This one's getting $50 hard drive. There's no way. All right, sure, we'll give you a loan. You come back, you walk in there, you got your little gold tie and, you know, fancy walking cane and a little top hat and stuff. And you'd be like, here's your money, chump. Throw it down, give them an extra couple of $100 just to be like, yeah, there you go. And then just, I don't know, sail off into your yacht and live your life. Like the Gabe Newell guy from Steam. Dude, he was right. $50 hard drives. How did he do it? The new gold silicon. I know, right? It's freaking scary. No, we pulled up an article, which was really difficult for us to get articles because concentrating while we're so sleep deprived is a little tricky. But yo, the Xbox was saying, the CEO was like, the components to make an Xbox went up like 500% in 2 years. How? How the fuck is that legal? This is insane. CDs will never die unless they get CD rot. Then they're gonna die. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Plenty when I have money. What? I know a tech genius. Nice. I want to be a tech genius. I can figure out why my Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. And yes, we are hardwired. Next Xbox is called Microsoft Azure. Yeah, they're cloud servers. Dude, I'm telling you, I know that's going to be the thing. I've heard numerous things of them saying, oh, we're going to have to rethink what the next generation of consoles is going to be because all the, you know, technology, RAM shortages and stuff like that. And this is going to be, and hear me now, this is going to be the scary thing moving forward is, and I've touched on this before, this is going to be that moment where, one, nobody's going to be able to afford to build their own machines, right? No company is going to want to put the assets or capital into building consoles, and they're all just going to make their own servers and have people subscribe to it, gaming like Netflix. And the only place that's going to...
Time to hydrate because I need some water. I got to keep the pipes hydrated.
Oh, that's a sound alert. Let me call that. Sound alert, bro. Sound alert. Oh, you already got it. Okay. Oh, wait, let me check my card. See what I got. Nothing. Thank you. The thing is, it's like Microsoft is kind of ahead of the game on that because they already set up their Xbox streaming, you know, Xbox Cloud. And it works well. Latency is minimal if you're hardwired and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. Same thing with Luna, et cetera, et cetera. So I think their next console is just going to be like a Fire Stick. You know, you're just going to shove it in the back of your TV and it's going to be like, all right, you're a gamer now. Ugh. It's going to be weird. Market for secondhand electronics will be insane. Exactly. You know? So, I mean, I don't know what gamers are going to do. I don't even know what these companies are going to do, honestly. Like Sony, Xbox, Nintendo, like they're going to have to push out, if they're going to make another real console, you ain't going to see another one for another 5 to 10 years. You know, unless it's going to be a cloud-based thing. Because there's no way, PlayStation 6 coming out in, you know, fall of 2027. No fucking way. There's no way. It's going to be unaffordable. And if they release something, it's going to be like $1,200. They already raised the price of the PS5 Pro. You know, Nintendo is going to raise their price in September. So if you do want to get a Nintendo Switch 2, as much as I don't like Nintendo at this particular juncture in time, get one now because it's just going to go up $50. So, yeah. So I'll joke about, synthwave song being about illegal RAM chips. Yeah, little did we know that might be real. Oh, it's definitely real. I heard news about the lawsuit. There's a lawsuit. There's always, when isn't there a lawsuit with them? You know? God. Blizzard's following suit, no pun intended, but they're Blizzard's going after a private WoW server, literally suing them for money because apparently they made millions over the years. Oh, God. This is getting ridiculous. Nintendo costs more, yet still offers nothing that isn't on a Switch. Yeah, a lot of people are saying, you know what, if you're emulator savvy to just emulate it somewhere. I don't subscribe to that, but well, one, I don't have the fucking time for. If I had time for gaming, I'm not playing Nintendo shit. Okay, at this point, I have a backlog of catalogs. My first thing I want to play is get through all the Persona games. What? They're gonna have remasters by the time I get to the ones that are there, and I want to play the. God, I want to play the remaster of Soul Reaver, and I want to play the remaster of Lollipop Chainsaw. I know, I'm like games from ye olden times. That I want to get the new Crazy Taxi when it comes out. Crazy Taxi, yeah. Yeah. All right. Millions is chump change for a company of Activision size. I know, but you know they got to make an example. That's the thing with these companies. They want to make an example. Nintendo loves making examples. You know, hey, you said a thing, get them. You know. Most of the games are what I like are like 20 plus year olds. I know because it's like nobody's come out with anything relatively recently that's great. You know, nobody's been like, hey, here's that new thing. There's a couple of good indie games, but you know, they're short. You can play them for, you know, a certain amount of time. But other than that, it's just kind of like, I know Nintendo really hasn't innovated anything recently, and not for nothing. The last Nintendo Direct, I'm just like, oh, it's a port of this. Oh, they're getting this finally, you know? Thank you. Thank you for the sub. Oh, that's YouTube. Following on YouTube. Thank you. What, because of that lawsuit? There's always a lawsuit. Every time they drop a penny, there's a lawsuit. Pick it up penny. Yeah, I know. It just keeps going. Because the PlayStation has already ended their PC releasing. I buy it through them, but if they reverse that decision. I think they're going to keep releasing on PC. I really do. I think right now they're just like, yeah, we're going to stop doing PC releases. I feel like it'll be a timed thing. Like you won't see it for like a year or two, maybe on Steam. But one of the executives says, you know, releasing a game on Steam for PlayStation is essentially printing money. And that was pretty much a quote. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but I don't think they're going to give that up. They may hold off on it, so you may not get a God of War. What's her name? Yuffie, Luffy, Doofada, whatever. Yeah, you may not get that for a while, but yeah. Still got a big Switch backlog. Yeah, so do I. I got a couple of games I still got to play on there, which might as well take me 10 years at this point. Laffy, Taffy. I don't know. I'm getting mixed reactions from the internet. They're like, oh, this is going to be cool. And everyone's like, fuck this, man. It's woke. I'm like, oh, God. Can they just make a game and either buy it or don't? I don't need the peanut gallery commentary about like, oh, man, it's a political thing. Oh, God. I have enough games for the rest of my freaking life. I think we all do. Even if I just played the free games I've gotten from Epic Games over the last 5 years, I'm like, God, that and Amazon Prime, you know, so many of them. Literally said exclusives are going to be truly exclusive again. They're afraid it will hurt console sales. What? As they increase their price? I never say never. Never say never.
It's not always about pizza, but it should be.
Sometimes it's about coffee.
Because we need the bread and cheese for our tummy. And if it's not about pizza, then tell me, won't you please, what is the meaning of life? Pizza.
Yeah. Thank you. I do like pizza. I'm going to get pizza one day. I'm going to do it. Stopped even claiming the free Epic Games, and unfortunately missed the Tomb Raider giveaway. Rip. I always keep up with it, you know. Dawn always sends us a link. Oh, free game at Steam or free game at Epic. I'm just like, I almost find it to be a hassle to just claim it at this point, right? Now imagine back in the day, you're a kid, you're a gamer, you're a fresh gamer, opening up PlayStation Magazine that had the little demo disc you'd put in your PS1, right? That kind of thing. You were excited about that. Imagine getting a free game every like week or so from some entity. You would be so stoked. You would be setting alarm clocks for that shit. You know, you get older, you got other priorities, and you're just like, yeah, I'll get it in a couple of days, whatever. You know, and then you miss it, and you're like, yeah, I don't even fucking care. I don't know what happens to adulthood that just sucks all the joy and fun out of the kid-like atmosphere that everybody grew up in. You know, at a certain point, you're just like, man, I just want to go back to getting demo discs and magazines and actually enjoying them, you know? But now we're just like, all the demos you get on Steam to try all these games, and you're just like, this is garbage, I hate this. They released 9,000 games this year alone, and we're not even halfway done, and they're all trash. You know. I got both Tomb Raider remastered games for free on Epic. Nice. The joy is paycheck-based. I think that's it, you know? So, but it kind of was when you were a kid, right? I mean, yeah, like most kids got an allowance, right? You know, your parents give you a couple bucks or whatever for doing chores around the house. You worked for that money, you know? Now it's completely different because the money you got, you could spend 100% of that on just entertainment and candy, right? Now you can't. Now it's just like bills, rent, utilities, existing, gas. Go.
Even opening up Epic is too much of a hassle to get those games. Steam has a monopoly for a reason. Yes, they have lots of trash demos, but at least they allow beginner devs to sell their stuff to work up to bigger things.
This is true. Yeah. I love Steam. I'm just saying, it's just like, yeah. Not that, you know what, Nintendo's eShop isn't any better, honestly. No, when it comes to the shovelware, there's just somebody who's like, it's on the Switch. And I'm like, wow, you got a touchscreen game where you can just move puzzle pieces to make an anime girl. Well, good job. You know, like, what am I doing with this? What? Still got those CDs. Steve, there you go. So you bust a groove on PlayStation this week. At foot. There you go. That's what I was thinking. When I was going through the news stuff, I saw this, you know, picture of this Dreamcast display, and I'm like, damn, it would be fun to collect discs. And I'm like, I never had a Dreamcast, right? Never had a Dreamcast. So I'm like, I'm wondering, like, how difficult would it be to get Dreamcast games? Because there's an emulator for Dreamcast on a PC. You just literally put the disc in and it just works, which is kind of cool. So I was thinking about doing that, and I'm like, you know, but I don't know. Again, it becomes to the being an adult. We already had all these expenses, and I'm just like, do I really need to be getting Soul Reaver on, you know, Sega Dreamcast? You know, it's like, whatever. All right. I had a Digimon Digital Card Battle of PS1 collection this month. Nice. I my demo disc CDs to upcycler to be turned into earnings. Ooh. Never had a Dreamcast. Yeah, it was one of those. There are very few consoles I kind of regret missing out on, and that was kind of one of them. Where I'm like, I knew people that had them, and it seemed really cool at the time, but you know, we had a PlayStation, so it was just like, yeah, nice. Yeah. I know you can have emulators everywhere, but still. If I be Dungeons and Dragons over PlayStation, my favorite thing recently. Nice. Remember the demo disc you get from Pizza Hut? I didn't know they had a demo disc for Pizza Hut. The only thing we got were those weird games from Burger King. Like Sneak King. Remember that Burger King mascot? The guy who would kind of sneak around and give people's burgers or whatever? They made 3 games out of that motherfucker. It was insane. So there was a Sneak King, Big Bumpin', which was like a race cart kind of thing. And I forget what the other one was. What the hell was it? There was another one. Sneak King, that one was, I don't know, whatever. Another one. But those we found at like, I think it was like GameStop for like 99 cents. And I'm like, it doesn't even matter if it's bad. It's 99 cents.
I finally got 2 of my collection desires for systems recently. I got the green PSP that came with Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and the Game Boy Micro Mario Anniversary Edition for less than eBay prices. Now I just need an S, will you, Switch 2, and the new Xbox.
To have all the major 3 console makers. Nice. I don't know if you can find an Xbox, do it quickly. No, man, because those are going up too. Dude, why? Everything. I have 2 Pizza Hut demo discs for PlayStation. Nice. Cool. Thank you. I have one of those Pizza Hut demo discs, Tomb Raider, Gran Turismo, Metal Gear. Oh, dude, Medieval. Oh, I love that. Dude, the soundtrack to that was so dark and whimsical. It was awesome. I literally still have the PlayStation disc because, you know, you can rip the music off that. So I'm just like, boop. You can literally put it in a CD player. It'll play it. It's cool. I have an Xbox S, but it's just used for 4K and Blu-rays. Yeah. I don't know. I got one, thinking about selling it, you know, since they've accrued in value. I'm like, you know what? Pay off some of this fridge. I'll just emulate for NES. Yeah, NES is something that I cannot bring myself to buy an NES game from like 1985 when there are other ways to play it, you know? Besides, I've probably played them to death, you know? Who wants to buy Super Mario Brothers for the umpteenth time? Nintendo's got my money. They're swimming in it from years ago. No. Hydrate. Probably should. What do we got with water? Let me do water. Maybe that's why I'm tired. Not enough agua. Agua. Boop. I don't know. This one's distorted looking. What the hell? All right, whatever. This one's derpy looking. All right, that one's spicy. We got a spicy zombie. Now let's see if I can call it. Oh, you got it. You got it before me. Quick draw. Nice. All right. Thank you. What do we got? First console was Sega. Thanks for follow. Sega my mom got for like $150. Best day of my 6-year-old life. That's also another cool thing about being a kid and getting a fresh new console. It's like a whole world opens up for you. Yeah. You're like, what? No, it's cool because it's just like, you know, now we're so mired in content and stuff like that. You never get to appreciate that thing, you know? Where it's like if you got something new, you really just sat there and appreciated it. Now it's like, oh, cool, I got this thing. Oh, wait, this other thing came out. Oh, wait, this thing's coming out too. Let's see, maybe I'll play that and I'll play a little bit of this and I'll do a little bit of that and my attention. It was cool when you had like one game, you put it in there and you would just play the hell out of that. You knew that game. You know, that's why a lot of people who grew up with those kind of consoles, it's like those games were their childhood because they literally were, you know, they had that one or two games and it just played the hell out of it. It was cool. Everything before the 3DS goes in my phone. Yeah. Generational leap used to be impressive, but not anymore. Yeah, it was kind of like, you know, when the N64 came out, people were like, oh my God, look, 3D. You know, GameCube, that was a pretty good leap. You know, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. PlayStation 3 from the PlayStation 2 was pretty good. And from 4 to 3, that was a pretty good leap. And it's like, 5 to 4, it's like, yeah, you got a little bit better. You know, it's incremental. I feel like moving forward, every other console would be one to get. Like we got the 4, so we'll probably wait till the 6, you know, for PlayStation. You know, next Xbox, assuming it's even a console and not just a Fire Stick that you stream everything. PS3 to PS4 was underwhelming, really? I was like, oh, cool, it's got better lighting, you know?
I'm looking into an emulation machine for that portable experience. I'm looking at the Thor because it looks like a 3DS and I could actually play those games as well on it with better graphics. I'd cry, but some games only feel good playing on authentic hardware.
Yeah, there is that. There are those authentic hardware feels that you just can't duplicate, even with a device that tries to duplicate it. But I think the Thor was actually kind of a little difficult to get because people were buying them up like a motherfucker. Because it's considered a really good kind of emulating handheld kind of thing. So I don't know what the status of it is now, but last I heard it was just like, oh, these things are really difficult to get back. You know, so we'll see. And next Xbox will be a ball and stick with a screen labeled with what, like the old Macs? Dude, remember that all-in-one Mac? It was like a ball with a screen on it. And I was like, all right, kind of cool design, but what? You know? Mm. Gotta have real luck with block tie. Right. It was unique. Mac at least had some unique designs, and now everything's become this industrialized, bland garbage. I feel like somebody would just literally, half of the public would just drop dead in their tracks if somebody came out with a fun design for something, you know? Or do you think people have gotten so accustomed to the totalitarian industrialism and minimalist approach to design that people are like, that's got character. I don't like it, you know? I don't know, man. I like when stuff, dude, the 25th anniversary Xbox Series X, the one that's green with the translucent stuff, I'm like, you know, that's cool. They're bringing that back. But I mean, just everything else is just like, all right, it's black, it's white. You might have a slate gray, and it's like, oh, wow, way to go, design department. You know, it's like, it gets ridiculous after a while. I want to see something a little bit more interesting. The version out of the ritual purple, see through the end, 64 hat. Oh, here you go. Oh, to Thor. All right. Thor! Ad starts. Oh, you son of a bitch. I'm too tired to almost deal with ads. I hate it, man. Why? No. There's Atomic Purple Steam Deck for like a minute. Really? I didn't know there was one. Huh. Really? Yeah. Those things went up too. To Steam Deck, it went up like $300. I'm like, oh, come on. Come on. Yeah, ridiculous. Anthracite colored. The future's anthracite. It goes with everything. I did like the see-through tech of the early 2000s. That was kind of fun. You know, everything was like, look, I could see through it. Sony had a great series. It was literally called Freak, like FREQ, like for frequency, but, you know, they were trying to be, you know, glib with it. Had like a little bit of a design to it, but everything you could see through. I was like, awesome, you know. I have like an actual cassette player from that era, but I never got the CD player or anything like that. And if I see it in a thrift store, I'll pick it up. But yo, that ain't happening. Yeah. See-through is cool. Otherwise, wish my console will just stay black. I'm looking at you, PlayStation. Yeah, it's kind of weird that PlayStation was just like, hey, we're gonna make it look like a. God, didn't it look like an air purifier? Yeah, like one of those Dyson air purifiers. I'm like, what the hell? The see-through phone. Eh. Costs as much as a gaming laptop. Maybe I'll turn a gaming laptop into art laptop and get a Steam Deck for gaming. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird now. Everyone's got to rethink how they're spending their money because all the tech has gone up. And even Apple alluded that their phones will inevitably have to go up. I mean, it's not like they can't just eat the cost of that out of goodwill for consumers. You know, they make billions of dollars every year. You know, just keep your prices grossly overpriced where they are. Don't raise them anymore. Yeah, the PS3 did look like a George Foreman. Yeah, that's right. Pretty good. I wonder how many kids try to put like a piece of chicken in there. Like the Foreman's not working. What do you mean? We don't have a Foreman. Oh, we got a PlayStation. Back at the kids will ruin the coloring so much. Get the parents and letting the kids know to scream instead of real parenting. Yeah, nobody wants to parent anymore. It's too difficult. Yeah. See-through was cool. I read that. Yeah. I don't even play high graphic games. I could just text my shrink, which is fine. Oh yeah, to text my shrink. No, on the Steam Deck, some things don't adjust for it. You sit there with a magnifying glass. So the thing is, it probably couldn't cook chicken. Probably not. Well, the fat flows directly into the TV with its patented design. That's pretty good. All right, let me get more coffee. Like it has been a struggle today. That I gotta get over the ADHD thing where I get hyper focused on something or hyper fixated, and just go to sleep when my body's like, you should go to sleep. Don't worry about the Wi-Fi. It still won't work tomorrow. And I'm like, no, I got to order things. Ship immediately. Yeah. Oh, God. Ugh. What, the KFC console? Remember the KFC console? Sleep. You mean when you get off doing stuff and the sun is up again, you're like, what? Yeah, I do. No, y'all got no idea, man. I do like sleep, every once in a while it's good. But no, this has been a I would say almost dangerous amount of lack of sleep. That's when you just use phone gigs. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get a new phone at some point. Because I don't know when the hell I'm doing that, because that's gonna be a dicey endeavor. Zombie Snow White, what's up? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Some really cool design game controllers. All official. Nice. Yeah, how come they don't do fun stuff with their controllers anymore? Like, nobody makes, like, third party makes some fun stuff, but the actual, like, companies, every once in a while they'll throw skin on it. Like, it's the Halo skin for the Xbox. What the fuck ever. I want something fun. Make it fun. Make it fun. Do you think that contributes to everybody's overall general malaise and disinterest in everything because nothing pops at them? I feel like the last time people were actually happy was during the angst-filled 90s, which is utterly bizarre. You figure for a whole generation that was pissed off, they wouldn't look back on that fondly. But I'm like, holy crap, the 90s were fucking cool. I mean, by comparison, Now everybody's fucking miserable all the time. Nobody enjoys anything, and everyone just yells online about stuff. And I guess anybody who does enjoy stuff isn't on the internet. It's kind of a thing, right? Mad Cats. Oh, there you go. See, Mad Cats. They used to have fun, right? Joy-Cons detach. Yeah, that's because you don't know what other things could get worse. That's because we did it. I know, right? People probably were just like, yo, if I knew things were going to get this bad, I wouldn't have been that angsty during that time period. You could have saved up all your angst for now, Now everyone's just miserable. They don't even have that angsty edge. They don't even have that controlled, focused rage backed by a little bit of intellectualism. They have, I want to say, screechy behaviors backed by AI dialogue that is basically programmed by people pushing a particular side of a ideology. Oh, God. Way to rage against the machine by using the machine. Ounce. Playdate generally just be when it's crank. Yeah, dude, the Playdate thing with the little crank? Dude, that's cool. I was like, yo, that's something a little bit innovative. God, did they go up in price? They were like $200 when it came out. I don't know if they've gone up. And you go to itch.io, there's a ton of homebrew stuff on there. Like a lot, Most of them are free too. Yeah. Growing up in the 90s was fun. I miss it. Yeah, I don't know if it's like you would go back then and just be like, man, dude, shit was cool. And we got on this nostalgia trip like a while. We were trying to do research on Old Town, parts of New York that have been overhauled completely. And we're just like, holy shit. Yo, even the city, like New York City, had so much more life to it. Everything had a sense of personality. Now it's like you look through the streets on Google Earth and it just looks like a bunch of bland buildings with no personality. It's like the same storefront you see anywhere else in the country. Why are you going to go all the way to New York City and go to Manhattan just so you can look at a Dwayne Reed drugstore storefront? Oh, look, they got a CVS too. Wow, there's a McDonald's here too. Wow. And it's all utter garbage, man. Every once in a while you find a cool little quirky shop, but the turnover rate's so high, you're not going to see it next week. Yeah. They also didn't have companies literally hacking your brain to keep you from doing anything but interacting with their products. Yeah, there is that. Every once in a while I find myself just mindlessly scrolling and I'm like, well, this is bullshit. You know, and it's like I just got to close the app and do something else. You know, pick up a pen and just kind of doodle. Good study. We actually have too much stimulus around us, and that's why people are so tired and on edge. Well, yeah, I would be too if I was constantly bombarded by stuff. But that's the cool thing about, you know, if you do artwork or whatever, you know, you can just kind of focus on what you're doing and turn out everything, because art, you know, kind of, you know, takes a particular amount of focus, and it's kind of cool to just sit there and just get immersed in what you're doing and just chill. You know, it definitely resets the brain a bit and puts you in a different mindset. So you're able to cope with the rest of the day and everybody else being on edge. And that's the thing. That's why I'm not very, because everybody is on edge in the world, I am very careful in how I interact with people, especially strangers. Because you don't know. They could just be having that bad day, and it's a lot easier to set off somebody now than it used to be back in the day. Like, you know, you could call somebody a dumb fuck to their face in the 90s, and it'd be perfectly fine. It'd be like, yeah, fuck you, buddy. You know, whatever. Everyone would laugh it off and get along. You do that now, you're going to get a chair thrown at you. There is no joking to be had with anybody because everybody is dead inside and has their whatever sense of humor, or if they even had one to begin with, has been ripped from their soul for over a decade, if not more. One of the cities I worked at started doing cookie cutter buildings. I hate those, man. Any new buildings all had to look the same. Wanting to fix up old buildings, you couldn't do anything to the exterior without making it look like cookie cutter building they wanted. I hate that. Text sentient, you got the roll. Equal to or greater than. Let's find out. 16. 19. Oh my God. There you go. La, la, la. Well, I'm just not getting through that song today. Pick a number, any number, what you want. No, I hate the template-y buildings that they have now. How's that spicy? That was spicy? That was spicy? You know we got other spicier cards. That's just Demon Lady sitting there with a bikini. That's whatever. They're a mod. I have no control. Go.
So did you hear Yum brands sold off Pizza Hut? China once rebranded as Yum China, and the others are now sold off to another holding company.
Didn't they want to bring back old school Pizza Hut? Why would you sell them off when they were going to have a personality again, you fucks? Is that true? Oh. Let's forget another card, thank you. Oh, man, dude, I was hoping they were going to bring back the red cups. They were going to bring back the red cup. Yeah, I know, right? The CEO was like, we're going to bring back the old nostalgia of Pizza Hut that you grew up with and know and love. No, we can't have that. Stop it. Oh, God. Hype to raise their value? I mean, I don't know. I was looking forward to it. I was like, wait, they're gonna make the interiors not look like utter shit? Last time we went to a McDonald's, it was utter garbage. I look at it and I don't even want to be in there. It's like a doctor's office serving burgers. That's how sterile and unfun it is for me. I'm the only thing missing is the old magazines I don't want to touch because other sick people were touching it. But the equivalent of that is their interactive menu that they have, so you don't have to talk to anybody. I go to Human, and I say, human, iced coffee. And they're like, K? And I'm like, cafe, cold. What's this? Frio? I can't speak Spanish. Iced. And they're like, oh, okay, iced. All right. What? There's a bit of a language barrier, but they make good iced coffee. Yeah. What? Pumping the stocks. Yeah, pizza. That's the whole thing. There's this thing, and we've seen it on Reddit where they had, pictures of the old McDonald's that had the playground, the fun little hamburger chairs, and all this other stuff. And then they showed a new version, which looks like it's from like communist era Russia, where it's like everything is gray and drab and boring, and it looks like no fun is to be had here. Even Dunkin' Donuts, their like overhaul that they did. They used to have like some cool old tchotchkes on the wall and stuff like that. Applebee's did that. And now it's just like, you know, here are our brand colors and that's it. 81. Nice. And I don't know what it is about the templatification of food places, but I would almost accept it if their food was above board. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they want to change things, whatever, but their food's still good. No, their food has gotten worse. Their food is fucking atrocious across the board. And the environment is astoundingly uninviting. This back here, motherfucking inviting. I want to sit here and have coffee for about 5 hours. You know? I like this. Like, they got little stools back there. You know, wood paneling. I fucking love this. This is what places used to have. They're called fucking personality. God. Easier to resell when the business inevitably goes under. But it's McDonald's. How many McDonald's actually close? Not a lot. You know? I could see if you're making like, you know, Phil's Philly cheese steak of steaks or, you know, some bizarre thing, you know, and you're getting all this custom molding and stuff. And it's just like, but these stupid template stores are just, they're annoying. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. There's nothing enticing about it. There's nothing visually stimulating, and it's annoying.
Oh, I forgot I sent you a whisper either late last week or early this week with something I think you might find very cool and interesting.
I have to check it. Put it on the list. I got to check Whispers. Check the Whispers. Thank you. 97 Chuck E. Cheese. I want to go back. God. Yeah, there's a lot of like I said, when we were doing the nostalgia thing, there was a ton of places.
That's because McDonald's showed the other restaurants how to make profit by becoming real estate companies that sell burger stores.
Yeah, but it's not fun. It's not fun. Maybe if universally society and companies tried to make things a little bit more fun, people wouldn't be on edge all the time. Because, you know, hey, when you were a kid and you went to McDonald's, it was a treat. It was fun. They had all that cool, colorful crap, you know? Now you're just like, you feel like you're just being herded into this doctor's office with burgers just to get your meal. You sit and the environment is so uninviting. You almost feel stressed, like you want to eat and get the fuck out of there because there's no joy to be had, you know? At some point, you know, it was like you would sit there and you'd slowly eat your meal, look around. They had some like cool pictures on the wall. Wow. Oh, dude, look, they got a hamburger chair, you know, that kind of thing. Now you're just like, I just, some people don't even bother sitting there. You know? Yeah.
Corporations don't know what people want because they don't live normal lives anymore.
I mean, I guess, you know, what do they do? It's like, every CEO just has everything in black, gray, and white, you know, like corporate. I want the store to look like my $15,000 briefcase. I'm like, yo, Phil, we can't make the store look like your briefcase. Yes, you can. You know, I want it to open up and look rich. So we can charge more for the food.
I miss the hamburger chairs. It used to be so much fun.
Right? It was cool. You know? And there was a time when some of them actually had consoles for kids. Like they had GameCube in there and you can literally play video games in there while you're waiting for food. They had like a whole play area for people. Now there is nothing fun. You know, they have the Happy Meals with the toys that nobody cares about. Yeah. Good. No, I kind of want stuff to just be fun again, but I don't know if it's ever going to get back to that. Yeah. And like I said, going and seeing all the stuff that got closed down over the years. One place in particular, there was this restaurant. I don't know if anybody's ever been to it. Jekyll and Hyde's. It was literally a whole restaurant with spooky crap in there. There was like skeletons and mummies and you know, Egyptian pharaoh heads and just all this weird, crazy, I want to say Universal Monster theme type stuff in there. It was an awesome place. The fucking place closed down. Now it's just like your generic fucking place of meh, you know? And I'm just like, why am I here? What am I doing here? Yeah, I don't know, man. Even Applebee's, when they first opened up, it was kind of interesting because they had all the ephemera on the wall and crazy crap. And look, oh, there's a little bit. But now it's like, it's just put there in sectionals. Like, I've gone to 2 different Applebee's and I see the same shit on each wall. I'm like, is that the same bat signed by, quote unquote, signed by Mickey Mantle that was in the other one? Yeah, I think it is. Right next to the picture of John F. Kennedy? Yes, that's it. Next to the stop sign. Yes! Ridiculous. Not just McDonald's. Fun-filled environment. 2026? Nah. No, it's really bad. It's really bad. I think the only thing that was done recently by any of these places that was like, holy crap, they actually did something fun, was the I Love You, Colonel Sanders visual novel game by KFC. That was it. That was like, I was like, wait, what? Somebody up there greenlit something with personality? I was astounded that game even existed. It was a weird anomaly that you just never thought would happen. How come they didn't do that with the Wendy's one? Wendy's should do that. You know, where the Wendy's girl gets really aggravated with like something. I don't know. I don't know. Things should be better. But I don't know if they ever will be. No, if I've learned anything going down the nostalgia pit is everything cool got closed, you know? Record stores, restaurants, little dives, hole in the wall, tchotchke places, game stores, fast food places, if they're still around, just are drab as fuck, you know? What happened? How come it says welcome? Yeah, what do you mean welcome? I've been here. They're like, welcome. Huh? Like, ad starts. Did we lose or is that just the way it normally goes? What the hell? All right, chat, did we lose something? Stream is back up. I didn't drop any frames. I didn't drop frames and I didn't disconnect. Hold on, we're going to the Twitch inspector. Motherfucker. Holy shit. No, it did. It messed up my stream. My dudes, I got a power supply thing. Yo, if the VOD is it's split into 2 things, I'm going to be pissed. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, man, because that means I gotta. Yeah, there was this big, huge, unstable event. An unstable event at 1809.
Oh, man, you gotta go into the settings and change it, and then you gotta reboot it, and then change the DNS file, and then you gotta reboot everything again. And then you gotta download this mod and put this patch
Twitch
in.
on mobile forced me to do a full app restart because of that. Twitch fix your
I
app.
can't hear any of that.
The other way.
Speaking of the gray look, I co-chaired a committee to change the color of the book that regulation was in. We kept it gray.
Okay. I'm sorry. It's slow processing because now I got to go back to the other thing. Thank you for the alert. What was that? Twitch on mobile forced me to do a full app restart because of that. Twitch, fix your app. Okay, now here's the weird thing. So, okay, I'm gonna. All right, this is it. I'm gonna be getting into fucking Foamy mode tomorrow when I get a hold of this motherfucker. Motherfucking prick bastard piece of shit. Okay? Look, we have done everything on our fucking end here. We got all the new equipment. We did all the new shit. Dehumidifiers aren't even fucking plugged in right now. We got a what the fuck did they call them? A UPS. We got the fucking stable power supply. It doesn't even matter if it's a fucking blackout. It could be a fucking blackout and I would still have fucking internet. You know what the fucking problem is? The fucking internet. It's not me, it's you. Okay? That's the thing I'm going to be fucking telling the ISP. Like right after this stream. I'm going to be calling this guy, look, my dude, what time? 6:15. See, that's an odd time. Why would that happen at 6:15? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Dawn! Did anything turn on? No weird stuff. Okay, she's gonna be here. Somebody call Dawn appears. Stream got cut. Even with the universal fucking power supply, uninterrupted power supply. What the fuck?
I'm just sitting there playing demos.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this thing, and everybody's just like, we back. I'm like, what do you mean we back? Where'd you go? I didn't even see anything. All right, but so yeah, everything's still fucked. Best case scenario, there is absolutely nothing wrong. Not, it doesn't matter. Power supply. Power supply. Uninterrupted. It's literally uninterrupted.
Yeah, it's annoying that they won't let you move up unless you go through all the rigmarole. They really now force the first level tech guys to solve piggins or put the AI in to prevent person-to-person calls for issues so they can't get sued.
Oh, no, I'm going to start suing people. No, now it's costing me money and my personal health. All right?
Try and be zen and
Oh, I'm gonna be zen like a fucking monk that sets themselves on fire and then throws themselves into a crowded area because motherfucker, we have done everything on our end to fix this shit. Everything. Even if the dying fridge is sending out an EMP of death, I am hardwired to this motherfucking thing. Plus, there's an uninterrupted power supply. I'm not going through Wi-Fi. It doesn't even matter.
It's coming from us, then I wonder if the woodpecker did something to the fire outside. And it's the immediate
No.
fire right outside.
No, because it's not even close. So it's All right. Yeah, UPS only to give you enough power supply to safely shut down during what blackout? Yeah, that's the thing. But this thing for those two devices on that, it would literally keep it going for, I think they say about 25 minutes to a half hour. So again, and we're also running from a laptop. I could literally stream in a blackout until the battery goes out on either or. There is no fucking way this is my fault. No way. No way. You can't even say it's wiring at this point. Well, it could be the wiring. No, it's not. I'm on backup battery for everything, bro. Well, that woke me up. I think it's Twitch. I could change servers. That's the only thing I haven't tried. All right, let's see what the motherfucking excuse here. Unstable. All right, what does it say? Session. Delay, Twitch. Undetected twitch.tv. I'm looking at things. Audio, the map, false, blah, blah, blah. I'm just looking at technical data here. Yeah. Good. No, because that's what I want to do on the most tired I've probably been in a month is do extra work. So, yeah, it's working again. Yeah, and it's like I can't even tell people to refresh, because it's like you want on mobile, it just drops everybody, and they're just like, well, I guess you're gone. And it's like, no, we're here. No, it's not going to be an authentication app because it literally happens around the same time every night. There's somebody turning on a fucking hairdryer or something. There is something going on, and the only thing I can do now is get back in touch with the ISP and fucking yell at them, or maybe it's a power company. Maybe there's some kind of switch going on that disrupts stuff that goes beyond what the uninterrupted power supply does. But even a surge, a feedback thing, that should be mitigated through this. So there's something going on. Go.
Maybe it's the AI servers stealing all the bandwidth at one time.
Right? What, everybody trying to make jiggly anime coffee cards at the same time? Like, what the hell? Is there a box? No, like the whole area just got new stuff in it too. So it's like not like yesterday, but relatively recently. Like wiring and stuff is fine. No one make popcorn. Old microwave had interference power. Yeah, and everything is far away. It's not like I have like a bunch of components here that would cause interference. There hasn't been anything new added to the thing, with the exception of the dehumidifier, which we took out of the equation by not fucking plugging it in. So we've done our due diligence. There is no way I can talk to any ISP thing like, well, did you try rebooting your modem? Like, I will literally change companies if I have to. I will say, fuck all y'all. You're all pieces of shit. Fucking go die. You are garbage. You're utterly garbage. Yeah, I'm tired of this crap, man. And around the same time, it's got to be something that's hogging bandwidth getting on. I know. You think the neighborhood kids are all Fortniting at the same time? You know? Yeah, the fridge, if that was causing it, would be more often, most likely. Yeah, because the concept of the compressor turning on and turning off. And we actually looked at the fuses. It's a separate circuit altogether. It's not like the fridge is on the same circuit as the, Wi-Fi router. It's completely different. You know? I've done my due diligence, you know? Because, inevitably they're going to come back, well, is it on the same circuit as a dehumidifier or something? No, it's not. Okay, it's on its own. You know what I got on here? This. That's it. Okay? Fucking son of a bitch. Ugh. No, it's tedious because I don't like having to deal with this. And I know a lot of people do have to deal with ISP issues. But it's a lot more frustrating when you're a streamer because it's like, hey, guys, how's it going? Okay, I'm not here anymore. And then you come back and then you got to restart everything and just make sure things are working. And it gets stupid, you know? Ah, God. And I feel bad for the audience because it's just like, oh, where did he go? Why did he abruptly leave? You know? It's like, they don't know because it's like, oh, well, the stream ended, I guess. Yeah. You have another cup you could switch to? I do. There's like two others I can look at. One is absolute garbage and the other one is okay, but their customer service isn't great. So I'm like, well, do I deal with the devil I know or the devil I don't? Either way, I think I burned, right? So maybe the coffee will help me. Where's my coffee? Well, I don't know. I'm armed.
Apples are tree
I'm
babies.
guessing some big company is having a shift change, and when they'll log in, they spike bandwidth.
We don't have big companies. This one lives in a small town of garbage. We have like street light, and I say that singularly. We have a street light. Okay, so there's no real reason for that unless there's something degrading on the line. And if that's the fucking case, motherfuckers should fucking fix it. Because I'm getting sick of this. I can only deal with this so much longer. I've been very nice. I've been very polite. I call. I say, okay, here's what I've done. Here's all this other stuff. It's kind of hampering our lifestyle a little bit, but, we're trying. I fixed this and this and this and all this other stuff. Here's the thing. I know when you're a supervisor and you deal with ISP stuff and you get a lot of annoying customers who probably don't know what the fuck is happening. And literally all their problems can be solved by one of three things: restarting their equipment, making sure all the cables are tightly plugged in, like the coax. I know if that's a little loose, it causes like a feedback loop. It causes all sorts of problems. It's not loose. That kind of stuff. And, other than that, maybe like some kind of line issue or whatever. So we're not those people. We're not those people to be like, I can't watch Netflix. Have you tried turning it on and off again? What? No, we're not those people. So I go in there, and this is why I want to bypass the customer support and the technician coming out and drooling all over themselves. And I want to go straight to the supervisor. Now that I got a number, that guy is going to know me like the back of his hand, because I am going to be all up in his grill every fucking day until this gets fixed. I'm going to be as polite as I can be, but I will be the polite, annoying fly constantly buzzing in his head, saying, "Does it fix it? Is it a problem? You better get on it." Yep.
The clock reset just happened to another streamer I have open. Server-side issues are something nothing you do can avoid.
Do they know what server they're on? If you could find out if they're on the Virginia server, then maybe it's the server. I don't know. It would be nice to just figure out if that's the case. So, hey, it could be Twitch's fault. Go.
Wait. New York polite or Connecticut polite?
New York polite with a dash of Connecticut polite until the nutmeg state gets removed from my body and the underground aspect of old New York rears its ugly head, and I'm going to be like, hey, you don't fucking fix this, you're going to have some real fucking problems, okay? All right? Because not only do I got your name, I got your number. And that's just, I'm like right there. I'm right in your face. You're going to see me one day. You're going to see me. And you know what? Like that kind of thing. I'm gonna get real aggravated. Again, IRL, we try to be as chill as possible. I know everybody has a bad day. Supervisors especially, they got to deal with Karens 24/7. People, I was in a video call with my grandson, and yeah, he was so square looking. You mean pixelated? Yeah, that word. Yeah, I get it. You know, and I try to be really accommodating, but it's like, it's at a certain point, I'm just like, all right, come on. You know? And again, we have worked with this person, and the last time he solved the problem. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt rather than doubting his benefit, because he's proved himself to be competent. However, in this case, getting a little annoyed. Anyway. I've literally spent like an hour and a half talking about how shitty internet is and then how everything was better somewhere else. What else is going on? Let's see. Look, it's World Day to combat, desertification and drought. Oh, so in other words, hydrate. Okay. Hydrate, chat. Hey, I'm fighting the desertification of my mouth. Icelandic Republic Day. That's a thing. Bunker Hill Day. Like Archie Bunker? Edith and cheese. Commemoration of General Don Martin Miguel de Güemes. Güemes. Whatever. Argentina. Global Garbage Man Day. Hey, it's Garbage Man Day. All right? You know who's moving your trash? This guy. You know, garbage guys. Make sure you tip them during the holidays. All right? Okay, but I got to tell you, as much as I respect garbage people for getting my crap away from me, can you not do it so early in the morning? God, and they still do that. They will launch the container somewhere. They don't even care. I mean, at least now they have some of the ones that kind of go up and take it. But there are still, every once in a while, I see one of the old school truck with the guys on the back, you know? And they're just like, hey, you know, they're yelling back and forth. It's like 6 a.m. And I'm just like, oh my God, why are you doing this? You know, and they're throwing cans around, you know, they don't even put them back where they are. They start getting blown down the street. God. All right, what do we got? Garbage Man Day. National Eat Your Vegetables Day. No, they're in the garbage. National Stewart's Root Beer Day. Really? Another brand holiday, huh? Okay. National Apple Strudel Day. Strudel. All right, Apple Strudel Day, huh? National Cherry Tart Day. Oh, you got some competition there, Apple. Apple cherry, apple cherry, apple cherry. What we gonna do? What you gonna do, Apple? Huh? What are you gonna do about? All right. Muharram Islamic New Year. That's got nothing to do with me. That's over there. Happy New Year. Father's Day in El Salvador. That's right. This weekend's Father's Day. Make sure you call your dad. Even if they're a jerk. Just be like, hey, you jackass. Happy Father's Day, you prick. Hang up. Don't do that. World Tessellation Day. Okay. And tomorrow's, King's mother's birthday. That's tomorrow. I don't know. I'm going to go with one of these fruit pies or strudels. Go. Malenko one. Nice. What do you want to be, a tart or a strudel? You'll be the strudel. I'll be the tart. You know, that's a little weird. Just saying. Anyway, what else we got? Okay, that's where the prizes were. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get through this. GTA 5 and PS5 and Xbox Series X will be free. Last gen owners this week. You're getting an upgrade. Okay, you know all the upgrades and stuff that they had over there? A lot of the last gen people didn't have it for PS5 and the Xbox Series XS, so you might want to go right over there. It's free. Okay, so that's going to be free. There you go. It's cool. They give you all the upgrades and stuff. Plus, they got a new heist happening. All right, Sony didn't do it, so someone else made an app to unlock DualSense on PC. You had an opportunity, Sony. You had an opportunity to be the bastion of goodwill. But no, you said, you know what, let the modders do it. And you know what they did? And now Sony's going to be like, you know what, we should probably sue them. PC gamers can fully untether themselves from their systems to get the full DualSense experience. Full DualSense experience. Both of your senses. Yeah. Almost 6 years after it was released for the PS5 console, the controller is still one of the best peripherals for gaming. Is it, though? Not if I got to have a mod patch it. Anyway, Xbox hypes up Gamescom return amid questions about its future. Xbox is in the shitter right now. There is so much stuff happening in the Xbox sphere that none of it's good. None of it's good, honestly. I've had that already. Got a Steam app that does that. Yeah, well, apparently, according to GameSpot, that's news now. Xbox is back at Gamescom this year, but under what? Under a cloud of uncertainty. Yeah, there's a lot of clouds. I don't know. Let's see if we got a lot of tabs of clouds before the internet decides to die out on here. Microsoft apparently already knew it would be closing Ninja Theory when it announced the Senua game. There's another Senua game. You know, Senua's Sacrifice, Senua's, I don't know, Hallucinations, and Senua's I'm Pissed Off. Whatever the hell the games are called. Dawn played them. She liked them. So Xbox is cutting the fat, as it were. They're getting rid of, you know, all the studios that they bought up? Guess what they're doing to them? They're starting to close them up, right? So Ninja Theory, they're getting rid of, okay? Double Fine is also on the chopping block. I don't know if they're getting rid of it. There is a lot of studios that they bought that they're now starting to get out of here, right? So there is this thing, supposedly, that a lot of these studios are trying to buy themselves out so they can be indie studios again. I don't know how they're going to do it. No, Microsoft cut muscle and bone. No, CEOs will be fine. Earlier this week, report that Microsoft is planning to close Compulsion Games, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, and potentially other studios for a round of layoff. The studio closures now report suggests that knew it planned to close Ninja Theory before the studio announced the Hellblade game Senua during the Xbox game showcase just 10 days ago. Okay. According to Stephen, blah, 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 notes that are, reports follows bumper interview. Okay, basically, this is, it looked good, but, you can see it. I don't even know if it just gets released now. Right? Because this is supposed to be for 2027. If they're closing the studio, then it's like, oh, cool, look at all this. Look at this exclusive that you got. Sorry, it's gone. Rather than be an indie game, be used. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I don't know how many of these people can buy themselves back as a studio. Yeah, because that was part of a contractual loophole from what I've heard. And, Microsoft is still going to retain the IPs to all this. You know that, right? So it's not like Ninja Theory gets to go off and make another Senua game. They're going to be like, no, Microsoft owns that. Let's see. Silent Hill Town 4 pre-orders are discounted on PC already. That was quick. That was quick. Why? All right. Well, I got really? All right. Discount. Okay. All right. What was the other thing? Weeks after launching a great game on Game Pass, devs lay off its staff. Dude, are they kidding me? Look, Luna Abyss has been look. Less than a month after its release, the entire team behind Luna Abyss has been let go from Quali Labs during, including the CEO. At least you were consistent. Oh, God. So, yeah, Quali Labs CEO and production director, Holly Emerald, blah, 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 announced LinkedIn pages that she and other 8 members of Luna Abyss development team were laid off earlier this week for undisclosed blah, blah, blah. Okay, so more people getting laid off. There we go. I know, right? CEO, too? Wow. Guild Wars 3 won't have... What? Guild Wars. Hidden subscriptions like battle passes. According to them, no subscription means no subscription. So when Guild Wars 3 comes out, you'll have to buy the game, but there won't be a subscription. That means I'm on board. Honestly, because that keeps me away from any kind of MMO game, is the motherfucking subscription. I'm already hemorrhaging money. I am not subscribing to fuck all nothing. All right? So there we go. That's good. It's been a long time since I was on Guild Wars 2. Yeah, they're making another Guild Wars 3, bro. Did I have a picture? Look at a picture. I don't know. Hopefully it'll be good. Oh, please be good. We need some fun gaming. Good. All right. Xbox closing We Happy Few and South of Midnight developer Compulsion Games report. Okay. Supposedly, Asha Sharma here recently discussed, what did they say? Hard truths.
I have one subscription, but that's because FF14 is worth it. It's not some battle pass nonsense.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they do a lot of work on that. Yeah. I know. I can't deal with subscriptions. I can't do it anymore. Microsoft is supposedly going to close Canadian developer. Oh, Canada, as if we don't have enough relation issues with them right now. Yeah, so, they did Contrast too? They did Contrast, We Happy Feud, South of Midnight. Those are 3 good games, bro. Let's see, the cuts could affect more than 90 people, blah, blah, blah. So there's another thing. Xbox getting rid of that, but they're probably going to keep all the IPs. Xbox studio boss is out ahead of reported layoffs and other major changes to reset Xbox. All right, we've already heard about a bunch of layoffs and stuff like this. Is not a good sign, bro. Longtime studio head, Matt Booty. Let's see. Prior to the 10-year. Okay, whatever. Can we get to the point? Additionally, Xbox Game Studios chief, blah, 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 blah. Xbox has been rare since 1999. We're working at animation. Recently, Microsoft CSO talked about, okay, not a lot. We just know there's a shakeup. Okay. All right. EA announces, look at these motherfuckers. Are you ready? You ready, chat? Let's get pissed. As if the ISP didn't piss me off enough. Go.
Maybe they are trying to make certain Series 10 box exclusives so they can compete with PlayStation again.
Well, they said they were. They were going to focus on exclusives. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, it's too late, honestly. They already alienated all the people that actually gave a shit about them, and now it's just like, hey, guys, we're coming back. Fuck you. EA announces new plan to launch ads directly into gameplay, quote unquote, after working in-game ads for decades already. Working on. So, EA, in their infinite wisdom of shit, EA stands for everything's ass, in my opinion. Yeah. So, we don't need this. We don't want it. I don't want game ads directly in gameplay. I don't want that. Okay? I don't want to see little ads on TVs and billboards and stuff like that. You tried that back in the day, and I didn't like it either. And again, that's going to be a problem if Microsoft goes to a streaming service. I guarantee you, you're going to have to sit through a pre-roll before the game will even start up. So, yeah.
Wait again? Isn't this the third time they have tried to do this but people complained every time? What makes them think it will be okay this time?
At some point, they won't care. At some point, they won't care. Because I think every couple of years, people become very complacent with the invasiveness of ads. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, ads. You know, they'll sit there and deal with it. I, however, I'm of the kind where I don't fucking care. If I see an ad when I don't want to see an ad, I'm turning off whatever it is I'm watching. I will literally just say, I don't care about this. Turn it off. But wait, we got to watch the new episode of Fuck Off. Don't care. There is nothing I care about that I need to sit through an ad for. Ninja, you got to roll. Equal to or greater than 3. 3. Me and Pauline are a 3. God. A 3. You got a 20 too. Yeah, wow. All right, somebody rolls a 20. A 3. Son of a bitch. I didn't even realize you did a 3. All right, somebody rolls a 20. Is that on this bingo card? Is that Steve's? I mean, not Steve's. Me. Oh, God, I am tired. There we go. Hey, someone rolls a 20. Boom. Calling that. All right, now pick a number. What you want? Number 45. Well, we got a number 45. 45 get $5. Boom. Got it. All right, let's check. Oh, my God. I got nothing on my card. No, I'm a little offended that you made me and Pauline a 3. Well, because I was so distracted by her height, I don't know what to do. You know? Like, what the hell? That doesn't even make any sense. Vampire and spooky girl that you probably couldn't even kill. Oh, yeah, 3. Annoying. Hey, reason Nelton one. Yeah, so EA apparently wants to add ads to everything because, you know, EA. Oh, God. This is what's going to keep pushing people away from gaming, especially AAA companies. Wait, there's more of it that's going to push more gamers away. Give it a second. No, there's some weird shit going down, bro. Okay. Here we go. Look. The next version of Unreal Engine is going to be filled with generative AI tools. Epic is also merging Unreal's Fortnite editor into Unreal Engine 6. Okay, now, listen. Okay. For everybody who hates AI and hates it in gaming and hates it in art, read the writing on the wall, okay? Adobe has implemented so much AI, it's barely art software, okay? An absolutely major game engine is now implementing AI, generative AI, okay? So this ain't going away. AI is not going away. You think they're going to roll back this? No. There's no fucking way. Adobe ain't going to roll back their AI stuff. Nobody's going to roll back their AI stuff. You think NVIDIA is going to be like, well, you guys don't like DLSS 5? Well, it'll be in our next, graphics card release, whatever. So now every gamer and artist has a particular choice, is focus only on games whose assets were not made with anything Adobe and not made with anything for Unreal Engine. If you really want to stick it to AI, and what are you going to do? You're probably going to use AI to figure out which games you can play to get a, complete list of what isn't AI. Hey, AI, give me a list of games that aren't AI. I'm waiting for AI to actually develop a sense of humor and be like, really, bro? You're using AI to actually look for stuff that's not AI? Come on, guy, we're here. You know, like, I mean, that's just the way it's going to go. Every game is going to look the same. It might. So now it's really about like whether, and a lot of indies use Adobe. So even the indies are not going to be able to get away from it. This is that bit of industry changeover that people are going to fight, but it's not going to go away. It isn't. And whether you like it or not, it's like, it's just, that's what it is. I'm just spitting facts. This is, my opinion on the matter is moot, but, this is major. Like, this needs actually more coverage, because once Unreal gets it in there, Unity is going to do it. If it hasn't already, I don't even know. That's big. That's a big deal. So I don't know. I like solitaire. I will play solitaire. There you go. That means all games outside have to be shared with Epic. That's literally make an engine monopoly. Yeah. I mean, you could use Unity. Hey, if you're an indie, use Godot. That's an indie thing. It's super cheap. You don't got to pay a licensing fee, which is nice. There's a couple other game maker studio, that kind of thing. They're not super great. They're not on this level, but just be aware of it. So when you get into a discussion about AI, there is going to have to be a point where even the most, I guess, anti-AI person has to realize just this is where it's going. And a lot of people already realize that, but it's like there's so much back and forth about it. And I'm all for like, data centers should not be taking up this much resources to exist. We don't need it for bullshit. AI should be curing cancer, hunger, and economic woes for all of society. But no, we got to use it so we can have, I don't know, stupid coffee cards and just like, other nonsense. Like, can we put this to like real use? Fuck the game engines. Indies have been doing fine without game engines having AI in it. Okay, so is everybody else. Some of the best games have been made before AI even existed. We don't need it in gaming. We don't need it in the arts. People know how to use a pen. Okay? We need it to cure cancer. Okay? We need it to map genomes so we can reverse weird shit like aging and have our teeth regrow like they did in Japan. That kind of thing. Steampunk check high. We're fighting with our AI space. God. This coffee card, copyright infringement, bro. Everything. Yeah, so this is a little disappointing but inevitable, and again, as a creative, I'm very like, I see where it's going, and again, we've been around for a bit, and I've said this numerous times, there have been a lot of traditional artists, pen, paper, pencil, canvas, that kind of thing, paint. They did not consider digital art, people drawing on tablets and stuff like that, to be legitimate art. And inevitably they got left behind because that became the new norm. And this, I feel like, might be the next phase. And you might get those stupid, dumb dude bro tech guys who are just like, yeah, I'm an artist, man. Click, 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 click. See, I just made art. You're going to have those people, but I would hope that they actually have some good ideas, but I really feel like we're just going to have a mindless bunch of quote unquote creatives churning out stuff saying, I need an idea for a game about a ninja. All right, here's a cool idea that AI comes up with. I need some assets for a game about a ninja. Okay, here's a bunch of assets. I need a story for a game about a ninja. Here's a story. That's what's going to happen. And not for nothing, the game may actually be good. That's the scary thing, as good as it's gotten, it still looks soulless and people notice. They won't. They won't. After a while, even if they don't notice, even if they do notice, they won't care. That's the future. Is generally people become complacent with whatever's happening. Whatever the anti-culture is ends up becoming the norm. You know? People loved personality. Back in the day, people loved personality and the way shops look unique. And now we have templates, which we just talked about. So there is this inevitability of people accepting what is, because after a while they become tired and then they realize, well, oh gee, I use AI all the time. I've literally talked to people about AI and they say it's bad. And I'm like, well, okay, why is it bad? They're literally looking at ChatGPT to get a list of why AI isn't great for everybody. And it comes to the water consumption, environmental impact, all that other stuff. I get it. I agree with it, actually. But I'm like, you see what you did? Well, I just had to pull up a bunch of facts. I didn't want to go, searching, on, Google. I'm like, it makes retrieving things easier. Yeah, but it shouldn't be used for. I'm like, you just used it. Template restaurant is more lack of options and actual not caring. No, the customers don't care. We have plenty of restaurants, but they all suck. Even the food has diminished in quality so much that people just accepted it. Big Mac don't taste the way a Big Mac used to taste. Their fries don't taste the way the fries used to taste. Taco Bell don't taste like Taco Bell. All of it's changed, and it's become the new norm, and people expect less. And that's what AI will be. AI will be the fast food of art. It will be the fast food of gaming, and people will consume. And much like fat food, it will be horrible for the body, but in this case, the mind. We're all doomed. Enjoy the ride. All right, what else we got here? What other fun things are happening? Oh, there you go. Epic shows Gen AI riddling Fortnite. Oh, it's riddling Fortnite characters and buildings with mistake its artists then have to fix. I guarantee you it takes a lot less time to fix a mistake than build it from the ground up. And that's what they're banking on. Thousands of people were laid off from Epic Games 3 months ago. So yeah, I love the way to throw that in there. They just got to run a peach. Yeah, you need like 5 artists to fix like all the assets. Yeah. Again, not going anywhere. What else we got? Yeah, there's a video about it. So they're not even like, after criticism from players 6 months ago for allegedly using generative AI in Fortnite, Epic Games has decided to just, openly admit it via a video demonstrating the various generative AI tools its developers are apparently using in Unreal Engine to make buildings, characters, skins, and who knows what else. According to this article. Allegedly. So there's literally a video. It's like almost 6 minutes long of like, hey, look at all the creative stuff we don't have to do. All right, I'm just going to say it right now. Look, we designed us, okay? You sat in front of a computer and made sure I look good. The same thing with whatever that is back there. Yeah, so I don't know. It's going to be a weird world. Weird world. Yeah. And here's the thing. I know a lot of people are like, well, you should hate it. And I'm just like, I understand the inevitability and the human behavior and consumption, because I've seen it before in music and movies and stuff like that. Everything gets dumbed down and stupid, and it becomes the new norm, and people just accept it. You get some holdovers like me. I want music to be better. And I actually had to go and listen to AI-made music and create our own, because now that I find more interesting than what humans are making. Well, technically we write our own songs now, so it's like, whatever. But it's kind of scary, because I'm just like, God, now it's like we got to look to AI for entertainment, because humans are putting out such a low bar of quality. Not in all instances, but some of them. So I'm a very pragmatic individual, and I do understand where things will go, whether I like them or not. So I could sit there and yell and bitch and complain about it, but I know what's happening. If it wasn't going to happen, then RAM prices would be super cheap. You know? Nintendo is aware of an issue involving a third-party hack as a group allegedly tries to ransom employee info for $2 million. Really? The extortion as a service group? That's funny. That's threatened to leak Nintendo's private employee info. Don't do that. That's mean. So Nintendo's got to deal with that now. So, yeah, we'll topple everything as we know it. At the end of the day, it's going to empower so much stuff now, and nothing can be gatekept. I do like the concept of nothing being gatekept, you know? Again, like game devs, you can have a single game dev make a basically Starfield level of a game without having to waste 10 years and $1 billion. They'll gatekeep the processors. True. That is the thing. Stuff, I guess it will be gate kept. You know, it'll be like, yeah, you know, it'll be gate kept unless you can pay a subscription. Exploring Steam's Next Fest with an AI blocking extension is very depressing. Look, the event has been flooded by games containing AI generated content. Wow, indies, how could you? Indies using AI during Next Fest. Inevitable. Yeah. AI is the Thanos of like, just, I am inevitable, you know, that kind of thing. I just feel like people just snap their fingers and a game happens. I wish it was that easy. It isn't, but you know. Box office here. What's going on in the box office? This Disclosure Day. Hey, that made $44 million. Is that good or bad? How much was the budget on that? What's going on here? Obsession got 20 million. Scary Movie. Scary Movie still in there. Number 3, bro. Yeah. All right. Where's Masters of the Universe? 8 million. Womp womp. Master of the Universe. For those who don't know, Master of the Universe had a 20 million budget, and basically globally they've made probably $65,000 so far. I mean, $1 million. 65,000. I feel like everyone would just off themselves. No, it was 65 million. So they're in a hole for at least $100 million. And Star Wars, who cares? What else we got? Boop. What's going on here? Oh, cat wanders on stage during Romeo and Juliet ballet performance. This was kind of fun. I can't play the video, but look it up. They're doing the Romeo and Juliet thing, and you know, the guy's on the floor, he's poisoned, and the cat just kind of walks over. It's like sits on his hand and stuff, and then a woman tries to like drag him, and it's just like, no, the cat just kind of follows and is hanging around on stage. It's hilarious. Master of the Universe is having to fight most of its audience still watching Filmation, right? Oh, God. All right, what else we got here? Double Fine addresses shutdown situation with simple message. Oh, shit. You know, we just watched Double Fine's Day of the Devs, man. I hope they keep doing that. You know, that's super important, man. They had a spotlight on all the indie devs and stuff. Yesterday, reports began surfacing about the imminent shutdown of studios under the Xbox Game Studios banner, including Double Fine, Ninja Theory, and Compulsion. It was suggested that Ninja Theory and Compulsion have gone, and that Double Fine is busy negotiating with Xbox and other publishers to stay afloat. Their last 2 games was what? Kiln and the Walking Watchtower thing, right? I forget what it was called. But they did not do great, and that's the problem. And as much as I like Double Fine because they're like that studio that can make a AAA game, but it be quirky. And that's so hard to do, is to be able to make something that kind of just like, wow, that's weird. Yeah. And have funding for it. Is Double Fine being shut down? Recent reports have surfaced suggesting that a string of Xbox games. Yeah, we already said that. Several studios. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, a little sweating emote. That's it. Double Fine just put a sweating emote. So that's the thing. This is a big article about like absolutely nothing. Grant. Look. Oh, how did he responded to? It's a sweating emote. They're a little worried. Okay. Kendall's already dead, but that's what happens when you make a multiplayer only game. Yeah, I feel like they thought its quirkiness would be a little bit more innovative and interesting to players. And God, a lot of the, I guess, friend slop games that are out, like I figured it would have actually done somewhat well. Like if you get a couple of streamers on hold, get a hold of it, and they all play, have fun, people buy on it, and it gets bigger. But I guess that just wasn't the case. It's kind of weird. But I don't know, man. I hope Double Fine stays afloat. They're quirky, and we need more of that. Apparently, they put 115 million in budget for Disclosure Day. I looked it up. 115 million? That actually seems low.
They are just farming clicks by making individual articles and repeating everything but which studio they talk about.
Yeah, pretty much. Every studio gets their own article and, the little emoji. Thank you. Bungie set to lose roughly 400 staff in summer layoff, it's claimed. Well, yeah, they killed freaking Destiny, and Marathon is, meds a bits. It's not doing great. So, chopping back 50% of the workforce seems to be going, that's going to be real good for Marathon, right? Yeah, multiplayer games are pretty flash in the pan, you're right. It's weird because unless you get like a Fortnite, an Apex Legend, or CSGO, and you get that kind of fan base, even Team Fortress 2, but it's difficult. Apex Legends, Arc Raiders did really good when it came out, and then it was just like, it just like tanks all of a sudden. I don't know how Marathon is doing now, but I have not heard great things. Third IP, I mean. Yeah, I don't know. But Destiny's gone. Marathon's not going to hang around. I know they're like, we're in it for the long haul. Yeah, that long haul is going to get real short once Sony is just like, yeah, screw this game. Masters of Albion lets you play God. Okay, Peter Molyneux, right? They created Fable, the Fable series. They decided to do another game, Fable adjacent, because clearly they don't have the rights to Fable. That's still on Microsoft. But they created Masters of Albion, lets you play God. But Peter Molyneux proves benevolence is optional. I want people to realize as they're playing. Oh, bleep. I'm a bit evil. Apparently, if you have a bunch of followers, you basically play God, right? You play God in a city builder kind of thing. You could reward your people there, or, you could feed them rats,
So, it's fantasy Sims?
Pretty much. But, it's got that Peter Molyneux humor to it, apparently. So, I know, it might be good. I'm not a big fan of sim-type games because I find them kind of annoying. And especially because The Sims made people less malevolent, I might actually look into this. Because if I can play an evil god, and keep in mind, I've been hanging around with Gora, okay? I am literally going to set people on fire and then make them eat the charred corpse, okay? I'm just saying. And if that's not an option, okay, 1 star. 1 star, bro. Just saying. No, that's out there. You already did that Black and White 1 and 2, let you play God. Well, this is going to be that again, I guess. Teachers. Oh, God, school's out. I don't care. Oh, yeah, this thing. This is a weird thing. Yo. Okay. EU rules against stop killing games, but after 2 years of campaigning, founder insists change is coming. Our position almost seems too good to be true. I didn't even realize, I thought that was just going to pass. It passed in California, supposedly. Allegedly. But I thought it was going to pass in the EU. So stop killing games isn't necessarily a thing. However, the UK decided that anyone under 16 can't be on social media. Way to control the narrative. Especially when you have roving gangs attacking people of that age. Now they can't report it because they don't have a phone. Weird how that worked, right? Death by sympathy, man. UK is scared of the youth. I would actually, you know what? Hey, here's the thing. I don't delve into these things, but if you're a native UKian, okay, from Europe, Ireland, wherever, you got to wake up because shit is going sideways there real fucking fast. Get your shit together, get out and complain, okay? Because guess what's happening now? Does anybody realize that the UK actually arrests more people for social media posts than China? China. China has more freedom of speech than the UK right now. China. According to those stats that I've read, are they true? I don't know. Fact check me. There's something going on there, and I am glad I am not living there. So if you are, yo, eyes, ears open. Because at a certain point, it's not just going to be 16-year-olds. You know, anybody under that can't be on the internet. Now it's going to be everybody over that's got to be monitored. What was it? Signal wanted to leave the UK because they didn't want to have to deal with that. Because all their stuff is encrypted, you know, like peer-to-peer kind of thing. And the new law that they're working on, they are working on a law to have everything, your photos, your text, everything, be able to be monitored before it becomes encrypted. That's scary. Because now they literally have anything they want. And if you do a post they don't agree with, they're like, you know what? Pull up their phone. Let's see what. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, they scrolled through TikTok and looked at this and they looked at that. And blah, blah, blah. We can piece all this together and make them a crazy person, right? It's not going to take much. So can't play with hackers inside I don't know. It's gonna be weird over there, and I kind of hope, because you got a 50-50 chance over there. And I believe it or not, I know there's a lot of jokes about Polish submarines and stuff like that, but they are in the best position right now as far as EU goes. Right? So you know, for all the cynical jokes, they are not as stupid as stereotypical humor would make one believe. Everybody else, however, is kind of knee deep in the shit right now. So I don't know. I'm wishing you the best, you know. And guess what? If you have to leave, come on over here. All right. We could use some more refined English people, you know. Let's go. Get more Irish. Let's get a second wave of Irish immigration here. Let's go. Come on. All right. I'm all for it, dude. You know, but because if your country's turned to shit, you have to go somewhere. Hopefully that's here. Glad we have kids. It's messed up society. Yeah, cultural. Somebody says, what? Well, yeah, no, it's gonna get crazy over there. So, do your best to work around it. Oh, God. So what's going on here? A, the commission considers that at this stage, it cannot propose a legal obligation to keep video games playable after they stop being provided commercially, according to the commissioner's press release. This is due also to existing intellectual property, blah, 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 blah. So supposedly they're working on drafting stuff to make the end of life aspect of a game a little bit more consumer friendly, rather than just cutting it off. So I don't know what that means, but they're still working on it, you know. It's weird because you grew up next to well, you were more of in an Italian neighborhood, and you know, Irish. There was an Irish neighborhood relatively close as well. Both areas were kept impeccably nice. They were nice. People who had homes, everything was nice and well manicured. Hold on. Same thing with the Irish neighborhoods. Everything was like super chill. And then it was weird. You went to certain areas that weren't Irish or Italian or European. And it got a little dicey for some reason. It was strange. But yes, I'd be all for more well-behaved individuals coming on over here. We need that. Oh, speaking of which, not as good vibes. Speaking of well-behaved individuals, you ready for this? Are you ready for good vibes? You know what America needs? More Japanese. And here's why. Look at this. Japanese fans cleaned the stadium after World Cup while the players cleaned the locker rooms. They were in the States. All right, look. It's the sign of a good house guest or a well-raised children. But what about when you, quote unquote, yourself is thousands of screaming sports fans and cleaning up is half a soccer stadium? Okay, look. Well, then it's a sign of something much deeper. Plain to see for attending supporter that spectators like the FIFA World Cup match in Dallas between the Netherlands and Japan on June 4th. The first half was a drab affair, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Hundreds of Japanese traveling fans famous for adding color and character to the FIFA World Cup began to clean their end of the stadium. Someone pulled out some trash bags, and soon they were picking up cups, wrappers, and anything else left amongst the seats. Further still, the Japanese national team players even left their locker rooms spotless, with no one telling or asking them to do so. For all that a player represents their country on the biggest stage has to worry about, they didn't allow themselves to forget their manners.
Gotta love riding in the car of someone who smokes so much weed, you can smell it on your clothes. After getting out, the stench was so bad, the one window cracked wasn't even enough to help. So freaking nasty. Anywho, hi Steve.
Hi. Well, at least you got a secondhand hi for free, right? So that's pretty good. Speaking of manners, right? Like, crack a window, bro. This is, yeah, come on, dude. That is so good. That is so good. And here's the thing. Okay, for everybody who's into anime and Japanese culture and stuff like that, are you into it on this level? Because not for nothing, we're not into it on that level, but we are polite enough. When we eat at like a diner or something like that, we literally clean the table. I'm not even joking about that. Both you and Dawn do that. We'll like pick up all our stuff, and at the very least, we can't bring the plates to the back thing. We stack them up nice and neat. We literally wipe down the table. They do it again anyway, but it's less that they have to do. We stack it so they don't have to do that extra little bit of work. You know, that kind of thing, man. And it's a simple thing to do. And if you get half a stadium to do that, yo, the people who cleaned the stadium must be like, oh my God, thank God for the Japanese. Like, that must have just been like, bro, we don't have to clean up half the stadium. Oh my God. Like, dude, that would have been the best day of my life. You know? That's crazy. It's easy to do, and it makes it easier for the person to attend to you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's just one of those things. I stack the plates myself. See, there you go. Ads are rolling. I can't do anything about it, but I don't know. It would be kind of nice if more people were like this. And that's one of those things. Because of the way the world is now, when you look at a place like Japan, they are unapologetically Japanese. Okay, so they'll be polite and whatever, but up to a certain point, and then they're like, we are Japan. Okay. But they are polite as fuck. Like, they have that upbringing where they're like, you know, it's like if anybody here has been raised by your grandparents, right? You know, you learn some more older world courtesies and habits from an older generation, especially one removed from your parents. They'll teach you how to do things. They'll do things that's literally from a whole other life, a whole other lifetime that most people don't do. You know, both your parents were working, right? And, you know, you were kind of raised by your grandparents because everyone was trying to, you know, make a living and stuff like that. And you picked up a lot of those old world courtesies and stuff, which is why we are not the squirrel in real life and we don't go start yelling at people and shit. You know, and your grandfather was very big on not making a lot of noise on Sunday because he was like a religious guy. So he would go to church every Sunday, all that stuff. And he'd be like, you know, if you ever get a lawn, don't mow your lawn on Sunday. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's very rude because, you know, it's sometimes the only day people have off and sometimes they don't want to hear that. And I'm like, that's a good point. That makes sense. You know, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of those weird old world things. And Japan is just like, that's so ingrained in their culture that it's traditional. And believe it or not, being nice and kind and polite is part of their culture. That doesn't happen here. You know, it's like, and okay, honestly, America's a very young country. 250 years is a drop in the bucket historically, right? We're definitely, you know, the United States was born of conflict. We're a very aggressive nation, but it would be cool to pick up some of these traits and work that into our culture now. So, you know, a couple of generations later, you know what? We can all clean up the stadium together, kind of thing. This is good. This is one of those things. It gives me hope for humanity that not everybody's an asshole, you know? Being polite also means less long-term stress and less people walk all over you because you're so polite. We've had that happen in the past, and we do have a cutoff point now, but we didn't in the past because we didn't know any better, you know? Now we do. So I mow electric now, so it's way quieter. There you go. Sometimes people, that's the only day they have them like mow and stuff like that is Sunday, and it's just like, whatever. But that's nice. It was a good vibe story as far as I'm concerned, and it's good to hear that not everybody is terrible, you know. All right, what else we got here? Oh, no, we're not doing the teachers. We already talked about that. Go.
People are so freedom-pilled that they think being socially obligated to be polite and clean is an infringement.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. Like, yeah, because a lot of people go out of their way to be obnoxious, and they're like, what? This is America. And it's like, that doesn't give you a right to be an asshole. Well, all right, technically it does. But don't abuse the rights. It's a, you look at it as a privilege, not a right. Yeah, but Webtoon and Duolingo collab new series, Do Leveling and free month of Super Duolingo. Why are they doing this? Or can we stop with the collabs? This is to me is utterly why. Webtoons, come on. Come on. Really? This is weird. I know, right? It's the meme that won't go away. No, this is happening, but I generally expect better from Webtoons, but I guess not. Whatever. Hey, Mr. Records. Look, this is the game we were talking about. The old guy who runs a record shop, and he goes into the music. And it's like a little rhythm game. Look, Mr. Records' surprisingly heartfelt story mode made me enjoy rhythm games in under 20 minutes. See? This is good. Dawn's going to play this at some point. Unless she already played it and I missed it. God. So, it's a quirky indie game, and hopefully it'll be, like, fun for people. And where's the record store part? Oh, they don't have pictures of the record store? Come on, bro. Oh. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. There you go. Yeah. I know. It's kind of cool. Boop. Hooah. Epic Games thinks generative AI models will play a central role in Unreal Engine 6. They already did a whole video of it. We already talked about this. Oh, God. Look at all that small print. Oh, geez. For instance, we see LLMs, generative AI models, and tools like Claude and Codex playing a central role in helping you build content faster while maintaining the creative control you need. This is how it starts, doesn't it? It's a very valuable tool. It'll help you make things easier. Yeah. Okay. Xbox CEO says hardware component prices have increased by over 500% in 2 years. Dope. This is why Microsoft is literally losing hundreds of dollars on the sale of the console. Go.
That means EA either had a hand in it or were just dropping the tea to make themselves look good for a moment.
Who knows? But I don't think EA could ever look good for a moment. Oh, God. Thank you. Dude, I don't know. If you think about centuries-old countries, a singular human years, America is basically, what, terrible twos. Pretty much. That's a good analogy. America's in their terrible twos. Yeah, they got a hold of fireworks, and now they're like, yeah. I get it. You know, it's like we're all learning. Nintendo Switch gets long overdue eShop update that makes scrolling way smoother. Thank God. How long did it take you guys? I like Japan. We just had a nice story about Japan. But if you're going to clean up, start with your code, because the eShop absolutely sucked on the Switch. It was dreadful. Like scrolling, I felt like I was navigating a website from like 1998. I'm like, holy crap. Load. Oh my God. Image. Okay, good. Now scroll down a little bit more. Now blank page. Image. Oh God. Dude, it was ridiculous. I'm glad I haven't been in the eShop in a while, but at least there's an update. Yay. Woohoo. EA looked what? Go from like 40 years ago. EA was cool when they had American McGee's Alice. You know, they tried to make edgy stuff. Yeah.
Nintendo, while being innovative, is also the most stubborn company for their refusal to change certain policies.
Yeah, or update anything. No, I feel like they just like doing the bare minimum, and they're just like, yeah, no, it works. You know, they've literally had probably 3 generations of people grow up on their games who are just very appreciative of the incremental improvements, and they're fine with that. You know. They're like, yay, we're getting an extra hertz, you know, or like, wow, it's not, wow, we're at full 1080? Wow, HD? Whatever. This doesn't need to happen. Kiki Delivery Service takes flight with live action TV series at BBC. BBC can't even do Doctor Who right anymore. My dudes. They literally killed Doctor Who. Okay? They ain't going to make this any better. Who are you kidding? EU, you got bigger problems right now than the delivery service, and God, you just murdered Doctor Who. You suck. I don't know. Whatever. Boom. I got out of here. Look, Death Stranding film tracks for 2027. Tracks or treks? I'm going to say tracks. For 2027 shoot with game characters to appear. So I guess Redis is going to be in it. So they're making a movie. So if you don't want to walk for 6 hours, you can watch somebody walk for 2. So, yeah. So that's going to be a film. I don't think I care. But it's happening. Boop. Donkey! Look, Shrek 5 trailer sees the gang locked up in a land further away. There's a trailer for Shrek 5. There's a... Oh, good. Thanks for blocking me. Good. DJC, you got to roll. Equal to or greater than 17. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wow. 9. Okay. 9 is not 17. All right. What do you mean you could tell there was a lot made AI? How does that? It's DreamWorks. They don't use AI. Nobody uses AI. Trailer starts off familiar storybook style. Recap 2001 animation before blah, blah, blah. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. The Shrek and Donkey, 2 stalwarts of blah, 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 Eddie Murphy, blah, 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 Diaz, okay, so stuff, you get these little things. Kevin Lowe. Previously announced for 2028 release, so it's going to be 2027. Really? The animation looks wrong? Well, maybe just they have bad animators. You know what? I'll look at it later. I'm not going to do it now because I'm going to get crap for it. Yeah, that was the good news that we saw about Japan being cool. Look at this. Yo, they're making a Mike Mignola Hellboy toy. All right, look at that. Look at it. It's got all the dark shadows and stuff. This is an actual toy. It's a toy. It's got the dark lighting and all that other stuff. And they made it black and white. I mean, you could have just put red on it. That would have been all right. You needed 2 colors for, maybe like 3 colors for this. You know, red, the color of their, I guess these are shorts, and the color of his eyes. They could have made this a color thing, bro, but they didn't. All right, but it looks cool. Still looks cool. Not $64 cool, but still looks cool. What? I like that. I like when they do that kind of cell shade look. It's nice. But they 3D printed it, right? They're just 3D printing them in a basement. Yeah. Bloody Angel is doing this in secret. But I gotta make more Mike Mignola Hellboys quick. What? Come on, you only got to use 2 colors. Speaking of the terribleness of McDonald's, there might be a shot. It's back. We can relive a little of our past. McDonald's is bringing back the fried apple pies. Fried apple pies. They're bringing them back. They're bringing them back. Hey, you did some dead filament. See, there you go. Nice. They're bringing back the pies. Dude, there's a whole article about... Where's the article? Where's my pie article? Oh, there it is. 24. Okay, this is happening back in 1960, blah, 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 blah. Okay, word stuff. Okay, the pies will be available starting June 23rd and will be on the menu through the July 4th. I generally don't recommend any fast food stuff, but fried apple pie. Fried apple pie. I've had one of these once. And it was so hot. It makes Dunkin' Donut coffee feel like an ice cube. This was lava. It is lava. So if you get one, give it a second to cool, all right? Lava. So, hey, you know what? I would say, if you want to see how they hold up, June 23rd till July 4th. You couldn't have made it July 5th? What the hell? It's back, bro. Oh, my God. So, I don't know. You want to treat yourself, that might be a thing to do. Write it on your calendar. They were lava hot. They were insane. Like, if you open that up on a table, it would burn right through it like alien acid, Game over, man. Hey, Summerween's happening, right? And guess what? TJ Maxx, boom. Look at that. You got a little beach bag and that chair? That chair is nice. Foldable decker. I feel like I should own that chair. What, $250 for a folding chair? What the hell? Come on. But it's got spider webs. What is it? It's just got skulls on it? I can get skulls anywhere. Why is Summerween a real thing? I know, it was kind of like interesting because it was like people who were into spooky crap were like, Summerween, bro. Like, it's halfway to Halloween, Summerween. And now companies are like, this is trending. It's trending. Let's put out a couple of things for Summerween. Like jack-o'-pineapples, literally pineapple jack-o'-lanterns. And summery fruits, beach balls with pumpkin faces on them. Yeah, as much as I like Halloween, it's more of a fall thing.
I personally can't wait for Christmas in July.
It's right around the corner. Right around the corner. Jingle bells, jingle bells. God. Maybe that's the other thing that's stressing people out too. Can we just have like definitive areas for our holidays, Go.
People were afraid the religious people were gonna kill Halloween, so they started celebrating it all the time in protest.
I don't know if religious people even care about Halloween anymore. I don't think they're really been out of shape. If Mickey Mouse is on it, I feel like everybody's on board with it. Hey, Mickey Mouse is doing Halloween. It can't be that bad, right? Disney. There you go. That's what I was talking about. Look, the kiosk, when I was talking about earlier, getting into Dreamcast games. Go.
Don't put pineapples on your porch, lest you give people the wrong idea.
Why, is that a thing? Is that some kind of secret code? I don't know about the pineapple code. Do I need to know about the pineapple code? I'll claim ignorance on that one. It might be part of the dark web. I don't know. Again, this type... remember, McDonald's used to have kiosks like this that would actually let you play Nintendo games. Yeah, but I was thinking about getting into like Sega Dreamcast games for some reason. I know, I'm in a retro mode. Oh, pineapples mean you're a swinger. Oh, okay. Pineapples? Really? That's what represents it. Hey, he's got a pineapple on his porch. You know? Oh, all right. That's weird. I've never heard that before in my life. Huh. All right. Well, if anybody needs a little bit of action, put a pineapple on your stoop. What else we got? Dead by Daylight. Bro, 10-year anniversary of Dead by Daylight. Bro, they're having a sale. Get out of here. They're having a sale, which is kind of cool. So if you haven't played Dead by Daylight, like everything's on sale. I had a lot of fun with this game.
Secret codes are supposed to be weird so people don't figure them out.
Well, I mean, somebody figured it out. How did you figure out about the pineapple? I don't know. Just like, especially when it comes to stuff like that, I'm just so aloof. I'm just like, yeah, pineapples. You know, if I didn't know that, I would get like a string of pineapple lights and, you know, put them in the window or something. And people would be like knocking on the door every 5 minutes. They'll be like, what the hell, dude? What? I saw your pineapples. Oh, yeah, pretty cool lights, right? Yeah. Mind if I come in? No. Get out. You know, I'm getting mixed signals here. What? I'd be that person. Anyway, Dead by Daylight. Yeah. So, yo, Jason Voorhees is up in it now. Nice. Anyway, so that's the thing. Also, Mars Attacks is getting a 4K. It's a 4K for Mars Attacks. Bro, it's got Danny DeVito and a bunch of other people. Dude, this was a fun movie. This was probably Tim Burton's most fun movie. You know, you had aliens, you had Jack Nicholson twice. You know, other characters and stuff like that. This is pretty good. I don't know if you haven't seen it. It's I don't know if you need to see it in 4K, but if you're a collector of Burton-y things, then there you go. Even he seems a little bit alarmed. Yeah. Dude, 90s Nicholson was like peak Nicholson, man. Yeah. What, late 80s? Danny DeVito. Nice. Evil Dead Burn was forced to trim a brutal scene to avoid NC-17. Here we go. Here we go with the censors. We had a nice horror movie filled with grotesque blood and gore and stuff, and the MPAA is like, that's going to be an NC-17. And they're like, oh, now we got to cut this. I know, it's ridiculous, right? Yeah, I'm in the same boat. No Ash, no Evil Dead. I'm kind of there. Let's see. Sexual violence remains an area where the board tends to be much stricter. Oh, now you care. Oh, now you care about that. You know, people getting their heads lopped off of that. As soon as it gets into the bow chicky wow, then there's a problem. So, yeah, they had to trim a thing. So expect a director's cut somewhere, I guess. Ah, look, they're upset. What? Director's cut. It's got to be one. It's always the Moral Guardians rooting fun for everybody. Yeah. I don't know. There'll be an unrated version. Guarantee you. Oh, look. Danzig announces U.S. headline tour. Am I the only one that thinks Danzig is like, and I like Danzig to a certain extent, but Danzig reminds me of like the Steven Seagal of metal, if that makes any sense. Maybe it's just his presence. Or am I just way off base on that? Again, I do like him. I like Black Aria, if you never heard it. That was actually pretty good. Yeah, so I don't know what it is. But hey, tour. So it's a headline. Never heard of Danzig. They did the song Mother. Mother. They also directed a couple of movies. So, Verotica. So weird. It's like a weird horror B movie. Odd lighting, and there's boobs. But he was on Aqua Teen Hunger Force? How was that 17 rated worse than R? You have to be 18 to see an R movie? I don't know, isn't it? I guess. I don't know. So, yeah. Where are they going to be? Texas, LA, Louisville. Hey, Tennessee, Texas, Cali. They're going back to Cali. The Honda Center. Honda. All right. So that's, oh, wait. Massachusetts? Oh, look. With Twin Temple, Burning Witches, A&A. Okay. Thanks. What? Damn. Oh, also speaking of people doing stuff, boom. Faith No More. Faith No More teased 2027 announcement. Ah, dude, I'm happy about this. Faith No More's fun. They're good. Besides, Mike Patton is freaking awesome. What? Parents can't bring children to see NC-17 movies. They can't for R. Oh, all right. So you can bring your kids to see Deadpool and then complain about it later. I had no idea. Yeah, that's because you're an idiot. What have we got here? Oh, yeah, this I didn't get to read. George Romero's Day of the Dead gets new life after search for long-lost film elements. There's been long-lost film elements for Day of the Dead. I was told that this couldn't be found by some people that I work with. That just set a fire in me. Oh, huh. Deep inside, huh? Scream Factory producer Jeff Rowland said that a newly restored Day of the Dead in 4K from the seemingly long-lost original interpositive. I don't know what that means. Let's say the 4-disc release, loaded with special features, new interviews, in addition to restoration, arrives almost exactly 3 years after Rowland began his long pursuit. I'm just trying to catch up for myself here. Fitting journey, death. Okay, what did they do? What did they find? Years-long quest to restore a horror classic. Okay. Those are going to go through the boxes and boxes, trying to find out one specific invoice delivery thing. Okay. There was some drama in there at one point. I thought it had been stolen by someone. They found this thing. Okay, fellow. What did they find? Roland notes the records for film vaults aren't the greatest. I'll just say that. So I think that's over time. Yeah, people just drop things in there. God, where is it? What did they find? 45 years. All of us were really serious about our... Oh, my God. Dude, I don't want to... the original dated bet... Oh, my God. I'm not... I don't got the time for this, dude. All right, they found stuff. I'll go through this later. I don't got time for this crap. I'm too tired. Dead by Daylight movie. Hey, there's a movie adaptation. Finally, there's a director. They got a director. Yeah, he bought Carl's house after the pool filled with blood. Oh, there you go. I didn't see that episode. Nice. Not knowledgeable in pop culture. Oh, all right. At all? You know Star Wars, though, right? Let's see. Well, I wouldn't consider Danzig to be pop culture. He's kind of like not very well known unless you're into like metal and stuff. Outside of that, it's like people are just like, who? Let's see. So what do we got? Blonde Behavioral's chief, Stephen, producers, adaptation. Where's the director? Oh, Alexandra Aja. Hills Have Highs and Crawl. Okay, they're doing that. All right, so it's got a director. Hey, the movie's got a director. That's pretty good. Now, I don't know if it's going to be any good, but, you know, if it's not, then you just play the game. You know? I know. Episode of Cybernetic goes to Christmas Past as Super 1,000 years ago. I don't think I saw that.
It's a raid.
Ooh,
Destroy
it's a
them all with
raid.
power
Adam,
hands
hi.
and
What's up?
tricks.
Hope you're doing well. Yeah, baby. Look, Austin Power 4s gets best update from Mike Myers 24 years after the last movie. Here's the latest update. Mike Myers addresses the prospect of Austin Powers 4. As Myers was attended Trevor, blah, 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 blah. Look, he just said yes. Look, fans question on whether they will see Austin Powers 4. As in response, Myers simply said yes. What? Austin Powers 4? Yeah, baby. I don't know how this is going to work now. Because that type of humor is going to be real dicey, considering everybody's oversensitive and stupid. Even this joke over here, there would be so many people complaining about it. Their names alone. People would be like, that's not funny. That's blah, blah, blah. You know, that kind of thing. I hope it works. You know? It's okay. Think back to how those movies were. And as much as they tried to bring Austin Powers into the now, as far as morality and the state of things and all that other stuff. That wasn't his thing. I don't know if it just works in today's standards. That's I'm gonna say what I'm kind of worried about. It kind of depends on who's writing it and how much you're like, no, this is how it's gonna be. I did Miss Mac Myers. You should do Wayne's World 3. I don't think Wayne's World would do well. Because it's kind of like, I don't want to say it's a lesser, but it's a kind of a precursor to Wayne's World and like Jay and Silent Bob. They were kind of the same ilk, you know, two guys just hanging out, getting into mischief and stuff like that. A lot of dumb humor, crass stuff happens. I don't know if Jay and Silent Bob did well recently, or if people are sort of like, oh, cool, Jay and Silent Bob. But I don't know a Wayne's World 3 would work, you know? And I don't know if this would work. I feel like if it did work and it did well, then the country's healing, you know? But if not, you know, stoner comedy. Yeah, I mean, everyone's stoned now, so that should be comedy for everybody, right? For the most part. Do you know how many people are on medicinal gummies right now? Shit. Wayne's World, great way to CTV credit, public access TV show, they were still a thing. Yeah. I didn't even think people would know what a public access show is. They'd have to update it to like, oh, we're doing a thing on TikTok and blah, blah, blah. There's probably going to be a lot of those annoying kind of videos where their face is all up in your grill and stuff like that. And I don't know if I want to see that, you know? Because they would have to. They would have to update all the technology. So public access would turn into, you know, Wayne and Garth having their own cell phones and just, you know, doing like Twitch streams or TikToks or something like that. And I feel like it would be insufferable. Yeah. Right? Wayne's World versus Clerks. Well, Clerks had a lot more going on as far as dialogue and meaning. There was a lot of dialogue in Clerks, and it covered a lot of weird stuff, and it could also be crass. But Wayne's World was a little bit more good vibes to a certain extent, you know? A little sarcastic and stuff, though, but it was a little bit more lighthearted. Clerks was just like sarcasm, cynicism, and doom, you know? So, I don't know. Hopefully this works. I don't know. We'll see what happens as updates happen. Toy Story 5 review. I don't care. What else we got here? Why Microsoft announced Ninja Theory's new game despite plan to shut the studio down. Well, what? Pum'Kin Guy. Okay. Bill and Ted worked to actually embrace the new age with their kids. No, that movie sucked. The third one was absolutely terrible. I sat there and wanted to just puke. I did not like it at all. You know? I watched it and I'm just like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. You thought it was pretty good. Well, you've been in a car with people who've been high all day, so I can't trust your judgment. Oh, God. Let's see. We need a new Viva Pinata. What? Where's that? That's so out of left field. We need a new Viva Pinata? Oh, my God. You know what? We need a new Paul Rapper to Rapper. It's like, what? Where's that coming from? Oh, God. That was pretty good, though. So, yeah, apparently, I think they want to sell off Ninja Theory. So they're like, hey, we got this new game. Try to make it more enticing, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. The GTA Wii delivery all over again. No, if you like it, that's fine. It's just, it wasn't my thing. I was just like, I think I was expecting too much, but I wasn't crazy about the second Bill and Ted either. You know? So I was kind of like, it's all right. You know? Rockstar dishes out free GTA 5 current gen upgrades to PS4 and Xbox One owners. So, you know, if you have it for those consoles, just, I guess, log in with downloads. I don't know who owns what anymore. I have no idea either. All right, me IRL. Look. EA Games every 0.3 seconds. I'm once again asking for your financial support. Why don't you just run ads, EA? Okay, good idea. We'll do that. Also, I need your financial support. Oh, God. Why'd they pick this guy for EA? That's like weird. Like Bernie Sanders, he's just like EA. That doesn't even make any sense. All right, look, manager, seems like you're just here for the paycheck. The fuck else am I here for? Look at that. Look at this guy. Exactly. Everybody at work forever. Most people, that's their job. You know? It's always weird when an employer is just like, it seems like you're just here for a paycheck. Wait, there's other reasons to be here? Like, how do you carry on a conversation? Well, you're part of a team and you're, I'm like, people would love to work at a job where there was good pay, a possibility for an advancement, and everybody was cool and chill. Then they're there for something else more than a paycheck, because then that's when work becomes fun. And then people are like, dude, I look forward to going to work. I only had one job where I looked forward to going to work, and I was working at a record store where everybody was super cool and chill. That was it. Literally opening any box of music was like, ooh, I wonder what's in it. You know? It was like blind boxes all day. What is it? Oh, new Korn album. All right, let's go. Let's listen to it. Yeah. It was cool. I understand if it was non-publicity trading company, but not a corporation. Yeah. Not a corporation, bro. Oh, this is funny. Look, a guy broke into my car in 2002 and stole a stack of CDs, except he left a couple, which means he took the time and risked being caught to judge my taste in music. And that hurts so much more than the broken window. Do you imagine somebody breaks into your car, 2002, they take your CDs. I guess they were still valuable back then. They take all your CDs and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm taking this. What is this? Britney Spears, get out of here. What is it? This? What? Aqua? Get out of here. Barbie girl. Look at this guy. Look at the Barbie girl, whatever. Ooh, they got Metallica. Cool. Get that. And then they leave. And then like you're left there with like Fiona Apple, Aqua, and then, Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill. You're just like, oh God. I feel bad. That's kind of funny. Boop. This guy. Look, when you're cooking and the recipe says chill in the fridge for 1 hour. So I can't even do that now till I get a new one. I can't even be this dude. I can't even chill in my fridge. I can get slightly less warm. That's what I get. It's funny. They did not have a lot in there, did they? They had, the universal thing of ketchup. I think that's jelly. And what is this? Well, they got 2 bottles of hydrochloric acid. What is that? And syrup. Oh, God. All right, what else we got? The night before a day off is more satisfying than the actual day off. This is true, because when you have a day off, you inevitably have to do stuff. But the night before that, you don't have to wake up early or do nothing. You're just sitting there with a glass of whatever, chilling, watching TV. You can stay up late. Go.
That exact thing happened to me in 2009. Busted into my car in the college parking lot. Stole a bunch of CDs but left the burned ones and certain artists behind.
They're like, I don't want a CDR. I already have My Chemical Romance, so whatever, he can keep that. That's crazy, right? Like, that is absolutely crazy. Did they leave Alanis Morissette? What? I don't know. A lot of people had that album for some reason. Like, it was all right when it came out, and then it got overplayed. I do this every night. There you go. Nice. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I ain't your friend. Oh. That's kind of messed up. Go.
Not so much. I still have to get up early tomorrow, since I have an interview at 9, then another at 10:30.
Wow, dude, you just rack it up to... Wait, what happened to the other place? Are you still working there? Or are you just fed up, so you're looking for a way out? I know, I'm being nosy. So you're just like, yeah, I'm kind of fed up here. All right, I could see that, but that's good, dude. You're racking up those interviews. I would end it and be like, at least let me know your decision as soon as possible, because I have a lot of offers right now. you know? And, you know, you guys are my first choice, but, you know, I got to have a backup. Yeah. They'd be like, wow, we're their first choice. They wanted to work for us first. Yeah. Lie to them. They're going to lie to you. Yes, apparently darkness isn't your friend. I would say we have a tumultuous relationship. Darkness is more a brutalist, I suppose. But we deal. Finally, old enough to do anything I want. Too tired to actually do it. This does seem to be a thing. You know, it's like by the time you get old enough to retire, just like, yo, I'm just going back to bed. But I thought we were going to do stuff. No, I'm tired. Yep. Retirement must be fun to a certain extent. See what happens. It's such a vulnerable experience to show your barber a photo of an obviously way hotter person, basically begging them to help you look like that. I have never done that. I've never gone to a barber and say, make me look like that. Especially since your grandfather was an actual barber and would just cut your hair. So that was the cool thing. There are people like that. I knew somebody who did that. They're like, yeah, give me this. And they're like, all right. Totally doesn't work. They gave him the haircut, but they just made him look dumber. You know? Like they came out with like the hairstyle of, I don't know, just somebody who has a fancy hairstyle that just is not appropriate for their face, you know? It's weird. I didn't even know what it would be called. Hey, how many guys you seeing? Including you? Yeah, none. Oh. I'd give him points for clever. I would give him the ha-ha. I'd be like, that's good. I wouldn't get offended. That's funny. It's quick and funny. I like that. Yeah. Well, you had to think for a second and be like, oh shit. I like that. No, I have an incredible amount of respect. Somebody who could just burn you that quickly. Yeah. Look at this. Walks into a herb shop. Hey, Bloody Angel. I know you've had enough for today, but walks into an herb shop. So what do you all got for anxiety that won't send me to rehab? You should do it in Dumbledore voice. So what do you all have for anxiety that won't send me to rehab? Oh, wait, no, this is the nasally one. So what do you... I can't even do it. I'm tired. What? No, there are... I've gone to one of those shops with somebody, and there was somebody who just kept asking questions. But I think they were already a little bit high, so they got into this philosophical conversation about gummies. And I'm like, oh my God. But it had a little crane machine that you could play, I guess. If you got enough points, they would give you a ticket and you play the crane machine and get a little herb trinket, I guess. And this person was mesmerized by it. Absolutely, like they must have been in the zone. It was crazy. I don't know. But there you go. What are you doing? Get out of there. All right, you just close the tab. What else we got? Look, I'm in Teams meeting with 80 people, and this icon is calling to me like the Green Goblin mask. Take control. Take control. Dude, I would totally do that. I would totally do that and just be like, hey guys, how's it going? What's wrong with you guys' computer, man? You got a problem over there? Oh man, dude, it seems we're having a lot of technical issues. All you guys are having technical issues? This is on crazy. It might be a virus. We got to end this. All right, everybody, I'll call IT. Everybody shut down your computers. We'll try to do this another day, right? We'll sync up later, okay? All right, we'll do that. Everybody just, no, I think they're actually, well, the computers are closing down. Wait, all right, I'll get back to you. That's what I would do. What? Goes to make edible cookie dough. Nice. Card battle. All right, now is it edible cookie dough or edibles cookie dough? That's a good marketing thing, by the way. If you're into that stuff, it's edibles cookie dough. You know, edibles. Whatever. All right, Mazel, you got to roll. Equal to or greater than 5. It's a mutant squirrel. It's a mutant squirrel. It's a mutant squirrel. It's got 2 heads and 5 arms. And a tiny little tail. All right, the mutant has been destroyed. Nice. Pick a number, any number. Small cards today. We had a 17. Ba-da-bum, ba-da-ba-da-bum-bum-bum. What do we got? Mazel, 1.
That ability for a computer is a good reason to turn a workstation off with it in airplane mode while not working.
There you go. That's it. We already picked one. Are you going to do that thing where you're just going to go through numbers? No, come on, dude. Oh, I had to call this one. Yeah, I forgot about that. One is already being called. Bum, 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 bum. Number 22. Fancy card battle. All right, cool. That one has not been called, and that one's very valuable to somebody. But apparently not me, because I got an utterly terrible... I got the worst bingo card I've ever had in my entire life. I'm not even joking about that. That's absolutely stupid. Oh. Airplane mode, everybody. Airplane mode. Boop. What else we got here? Hey, see, a lot of people winning now. Nice. Thank you. I'm at the age where I don't correct my autocorrect anymore. If I text you, let's me for lunch. That's your puzzle to solve now. That's pretty good. You know what? You figure it out. Let's me for lunch. What does that mean? 2 o'clock. See you there. Wait, what? What do you mean? Figure it out. It's a very bad, very sad bingo card. Boop. What else we got here? When the weather gets warmer, I will become unstoppable. As long as it doesn't get too warm, then I will be stoppable. This is true. I'm fine in slightly warm weather, but anything that starts making me sweat, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. Oh, and I've been getting into this band again for some reason. The Muffs, for some reason. The Muffs. The lead singer died in like 2019, which kind of sucks. They had that weird, cool, punky growl to their music. I know. I don't know why I'm listening to them now. I'm just like, yeah, see, they're the Muffs. This one, they died. They died. I don't know if anybody really remembers this band. They were an older band from like the 90s. But they went back like further. This one was in another band with, what was it, Pandora's or something like that? I don't know. This is one of those weird side things that I've been... Is that the album? Nah, not that one. No, Blonder and Blonder, people know that. They did a song for, what was it, Clueless, I think? People probably know that one. Oh my God. Bats. Next. No. Everyone tell me where they're on. Oh, compilations. Oh, no, not that one. Appearances. There you go. Appearances. Oh, God. Really? Oh, they were on Angus. Oh, they did a cover of David Bowie. Changes. No, it's pretty good. Now I got to figure out what song they were on. Is that a Coop cover? Yo, the artist Coop? I completely forgot about that. Oh, there it is. Clueless. What did they do? Oh, Kids in America. Kids in America. There you go. People probably know that if you ever seen Clueless. Yeah, Kids in America. I don't like that song. I like Sad Tomorrow. That's a good song. Boom, boom, boom. Boop. I know. Stuff happens. All right, what do we got going on here? It looks like Lord of Acid. Yeah, Lords of Acid. That was the guy who did the cover for that. Coop. C-O-O-P. His name's Chris Cooper, but he goes by Coop. He does all the like 90s, the 90s quintessential devil girl art that was, you know, black light and all that other stuff. Very spicy stuff, so I ain't showing it here. Yeah, so there you go. Their posters go for a lot, actually, if you can find an original. I have one, but it's like an MTV one from like 2000, whatever. It's like Return of the Rock. They had a, like, not the wrestler, but like music. It has the devil girl with a guitar or whatever, and she's just kind of chilling there. But What? Bring back to memories of Vice City. There you go, Vice City. That was in Vice Cities. Didn't know that we are his names. Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. I know the cover of Changes was pretty good. I mean, it's a little raspy, and you know, it's not David Bowie, but it's fun. It's different. But that was the Muffs were one of those few. Think of like Hole, right? The band Hole back in the day, Courtney Love. They were like Hole, but a little bit more punk-like, but fun. They were weird. They were like angsty but fun at the same time. They had this weird balance where it's like lyrically they were a little angsty, but they had a fun sound to them, and you're just like, that's interesting. Like, you know, I didn't get that dark brooding crap that every other band at the time had. And I'm into dark brooding, but every once in a while, a little ray of sunshine's always good. Not for me, but you know, in general. Let's see. It was on Wave 104. Wave 104. So what I'm going to do is, hold on, I'm going to check internet thingies. Let's see. So I'm seeing if we had any other issues with interwebs. We had another blip relatively recently. It didn't disconnect us. Yay. The only thing I'm going to do next stream for Sunday, but Sunday usually is smooth because it's not at the, I guess, prime time switcher thing that usually happens. So we got to figure out what the issue is. But I have now an extra amount of work to do because the VOD is going to be split into two, which I absolutely love. I love when that happens. I don't think I could use the offline one because it still has the music in it and stuff. Well, no, I could probably just cut out the first part. It should be all right, right? Was there any other weird audio things that we played here? I didn't play any music. No, I think we're good. I think I could use the offline one. So I just have to cut out the beginning, and then I could upload the whole thing and then just trim out the other thing. I'll figure it out. All right, because I want to get the VOD up there as fast as possible.
Oh, I forgot. What is the Vtuber software you're using again? I'm looking to make my own as I'm considering streaming again.
Wait, what? What is the VTuber? VC Face. It's free. It's literally the letter V, C, as in eyeballs, and then face. It's cool. It's all self-contained. Also, if you want to save a little resources, get Sprout 2 for OBS. It's a plugin. It's on GitHub. It does an auto install for the plugin, so it's not complex or anything. And enable Sprout capturing in VC Face if you do have resources issues that you got to worry about. If you don't, then just capture it like a game capture. But it will free up a lot of resources because that helped us out greatly. Helped Dawn out a little bit, not as much, but you know, that computer's showing its age. So, yeah. All right. It was all your music. Yeah, but still I like to cut it out because it's just like because people don't want to sit through a 10-minute intro. Yeah. Hey, I had the timer work. We put a timer in the beginning, so it's like a little countdown. Gets everybody excited. Yeah.
It's a raid.
It's a
Destroy
raid.
them all with
What's up?
kawaii hugs and
Chronicles
treats.
High. Thank you. All right. Rather than press my luck, I'm probably going to wrap up because I am mentally exhausted. I have to yell at somebody for ISP, so the first message they get in the morning is going to be me going, look, here's the problem, bro. Okay? So that's what I get to do immediately after this. And then I got to worry about encoding and changing things around here. And hopefully this will, I'll figure it out. I just got to get the VOD up. I freaking hate. This is why you always got to have a offline recording all the time. Okay. So even if the VOD gets chopped up through Twitch, I don't got to worry about that thing. I can piece it back together at some other point, but not going to do that now. So we're going to wrap up a little earlier than usual. I ain't going through Teachers Reddit unless you want to see what chaos is actually ensuing. But I can't imagine them having problems in the summer. Oh, God, summer school. Wait, hold on. Hot take. Toy awards don't go to the best teachers. Toy awards? You get a toy. Really? Oh, teachers of the year. Oh, who cares? Parent went too far in email header. Oh, they went too far. So I am on summer break. No, maybe I'm not a, what is this? Kahoot names? Kahoot? Whenever we do Kahoots, what the hell's Kahoots? Parents should not be able to contact us after summer starts. Yes, I'll agree with that and leave it at that. No, I like flat out. If I was a teacher and they're just like, okay, summer starts and I'm getting, messages from parents, I'd be like, look, this is summer break. You know what that means? I got a break from your stupidity. Okay. I don't even got to be nice to you because I'm not technically on the clock. Go fuck yourself and enjoy your summer. Okay. I'll talk to you when school starts and I got to babysit your little hell spawn. Okay. Moron. Smiley face. Is why I don't text people either. All right, let's find somebody to read. What's up? Kahoot is a quiz thing? It's a quiz thing? Quiz? Like Quizlings? Parents and teachers should interact outside of parent-teacher meetings. Or shouldn't. Shouldn't enter. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. No, that should be an in-person meeting, I don't like the concept of texting because then people feel like they can just touch base with you all the time. Like, not for nothing, this guy supervisor is lucky that I don't text him every time the internet went down. Because I'd be like, it went down again. It went down again. It went down again. Thank you. All right. Let's see who we can raid before internet fails again. All right. What we got here? All right. Let's see. We got that. They're not even in there. Tokyo Shout. Real Elvira. Real Elvira. Is that an older one? Are they playing an older one? No, that's not. What's got here? Oh, Mr. Lobo. Hey. They're on. They're actually on a little early. Let me make sure that's muted. Okay, good. They're playing cartoons now, but I think they're going to have a draw along. Oh, yo, they're playing Flash Defenders of the Earth. Yo, I never got to see that cartoon. Defenders of the Earth with the little magician guy and Flash. Yo, we got cartoons to watch. All right, that'll cheer me up a little bit after all the BS that I've had to deal with. Assuming my internet connection holds up. Ah, man. What are you doing? Boop, 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 boop. It's summer. It's too late for your kid to be doing extra credit. They won't be in class next year. I would love that, but they never leave anybody back. And I feel like that drags down to next year's class because now you got compounded stupidity holding everybody else back. Because they never stayed back to learn what they didn't learn, so they just carry their ignorance over to the next year. And then you have somebody at a second grade level in a fifth grade just causing a ruckus, and you're like, oh my God. And then everybody else, it's diminishing returns. It's basically like a mold. Once it touches something, it just ruins everything else. All right. Boom. We're going to wrap up. Dawn will be streaming Friday, 5 o'clock. Dawn of Time BC on Twitch. We will be back on Sunday. New Foamy Friday. Assuming the internet works. I'll give you fridge updates as they happen. Next stream. I don't know when the hell this fridge showing up. No, I checked the routing and it's just like en route. What do you mean en route? When's it going to get here? And again, thank you, Shada, for being here and pressing all the buttons. Oh, hold on, I got to check my bingo while you do a thing. What do we got? Yeah, you do that. I got to check my bingo. Where's my bingo? Let's see. Oh. Hold on. All right. Thank you. All right. We got all right. Let me finish up my coffee. Hold on. All right, runs out of coffee. I only had one sip left. All right. Runs out of coffee. I think we could do Blood Rain, right? Where is that? Ah. I guess Stevie shows up. Let's go do that too. What else we got here? Boo, boo, boo. What else? I can call Blood Rain. I can call Blood Rain. I got it. I got that one. I know where the other one is. We didn't do stupid food. God God. Can I? Yeah, no, I can't call that. Drop frames because we did. Costume change, a party. Nobody rolled a 1. Somebody rolled a 20. No shiny card battle. Mispronounced somebody's name. I am sure of it. New song played during intro? No, that was the old stuff. It's Mike with face? No. Dyslexia? Definitely. Shows PO boxing, so store fine. Bad pun? Probably. Didn't eat on stream. Didn't get 100 viewers because internet. People won. I think we got all that. All right. And now let me check my card. Oh my God, there's no way. Is this broken? I got to refresh this. There's no way. There you go. Okay, I didn't refresh this. I had to refresh it because the stream went down. There you go. I just barely made it, honestly. But holy crap. I'm like, there is no way I called all that crap and I didn't get bingo. No way. No way. Way no. Way no. What? Isn't that like, it wasn't Waymo a thing? What the hell was that? Is that a map or something? Car service? Who cares? All right, we're going to raid Mr. Lobo. I'm going to try to get more coffee in me and yell at an ISP person and try to let them know that I am at the level of being so irate, I am going to take things to the utmost level of discontent. That's all I can do. Everybody, you got the rest of the week. Do something fun. I say this each stream. Do something fun. Try to break yourself out of the mired week of whatever the hell you got to do. If you're on vacation, enjoy it. If you're not, find something to make things bearable. That's all you can do. Make things bearable. Also, clean up after yourself. If the Japanese can do it, then you can too. All right? Let's be more like the Japanese. What? They cleaned up a whole stadium. I don't even know if they won. They were just being polite. It's crazy to me. All right. It's good to have a good example out there. Quick, before the ads start, go.